Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to this thing we've been doing for a year that is really, honestly, I don't know how we got through it. I don't know how you got through it, but it's a thing. And see, I did it so well while you were gone, and now it's a thing where what's the name of the show?
Because welcome to the NXT Sour Graps post show for September 13th. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats on the special 1-year anniversary of the show, brought to you by Blue Chew and Magic Spoon. As always, we're also streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. Alex is your host. I'm your co-host, Kate Elizabeth. It's the 1-year anniversary of me buying this veil, of you busting out that wig. It's the 2.0 reboot that happened, and it has both enhanced and ruined our lives greatly. I think that's fair to say.
Yes. It was the catalyst for all of you wonderful, fine people to find us and keep coming back every week for whatever the hell this is. So I feel like we owe NXT 2.0 something. The thing of it is, Kate, that when I last wore this wig, literally the last time, not like any other time doing any other thing in my life, the last time I wore this wig was for the first episode of NXT 2.0, and now I'm wearing it for the last episode of NXT 2.0.
Which is
we celebrated a wedding on the first NXT 2.0, but we also a few days before, I think the week before that, we celebrated NXT Black and Gold's funeral.
We did.
And now a year later, we are celebrating NXT 2.0's funeral, and I do mean celebrating. But here's the deal: at least we can say that if that was the end of NXT 2.0, that it died doing what it loved, making completely inexplicable booking decisions that make no fucking sense at all.
It's true. It's true. I tweeted something to that effect of like, you know, what better anniversary is there than to handcuff talent with nonsensical booking and bad creative? Like, what a perfect ode to what NXT 2.0 has been. So it felt like it was fitting of the occasion. I'll put it that way.
Agreed. It did. I think my mic is now fixed, hopefully.
Yeah.
They just decided to jump around and do whatever it is. But
you
listen,
fixed your mic, but can't say the same about creative, Alex.
No, can't do that. No, I can't do that.
Oh
Someday.
My God.
One day.
Just like,
one
don't
day.
be a dork.
Yeah, one day. So here we go. We have all these wonderful Let's start out with Matthew Plus, because why not? He says, Al, I hope the lack of sour chats you received without Katie really drove home just how unlikable and uninteresting you are. You had to rely on a proto OnlyFans stream of you playing video games just to receive validation. Sad. The last part is true. And then Matthew Plus says, I like it better when Katie wasn't here, of course. JDB Pringle says, one true Alex, Kate, who holds up the place with her bare shoulders, in this case, bare clavicle. One half of the longest running bit in sports infotainment, Papa Paul Elizabeth, ladies of cease and desist, Council of Marks, 1 year of 2.0 down, oof. Oof indeed. Oof indeed. Paul Elizabeth, of course, responding, Sir Pringle again leads the way in recognizing the breadth and depth of the SGS and its everlasting glory. So true. Jake Salazar says, Alex looks like a Mardi Gras hook.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I am nothing if not a cold-hearted, handsome devil.
It's true.
Eugene Solis says the Queen has returned. Congratulations, Kalex. Yes, it's cause for celebration. If for no other reason, then Kate is back. EJM says, just wanted to start off tonight's review to express my disappointment for that email campaign for when the fans chose the stipulation for the tag team title match, which we'll get to in a second, He wanted the Judy Bagwell on a forklift stipulation, and the whole thing didn't work. Clearly, the results were rigged, and I was cheated, he says. No, we were cheated. We were all cheated. Yes, clearly a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match would have made a lot more sense for what happened than what did happen.
It's true.
Tom LaValle says, happy anniversary to the 2.5-hour review show I never miss. For the 2-hour show I never watch. Keep the cool gabagools at SGS. Life.
Before we dig in too much further, I do want to say, and it's hilarious because I do have like a sentimental thing to say as I'm watching Louise tear down complete dorks in the chat. I would encourage them to go to betterhelp.com and get help for their mental health because they're clearly unwell people. This last week was really tough, and it was really telling to me how much you guys were a part of my life because I got so much support from just random tweets, random DMs, random Instagram messages. So many things that were passed forward to me when I was like not on social media for the 2 months that I was just off Twitter. So many people like finding other people to send their best wishes through. And like the community here has been so much fun when we're talking about silly stuff and so supportive and wonderful when we're talking about real stuff. And I just wanted to thank all of you people. And I also would be wildly remiss if I wasn't thanking this guy. And again, per usual, us having sentimental moments while you're in a rainbow wig and I'm in a wedding veil here. But what happened with my dog happened at about 10 o'clock on during the pay-per-view, during All Out. And we didn't really know what was going on with him. And we had done like 4 post shows that weekend already. And I really needed to take the time off. And the way I didn't have to worry about a thing, knowing how great you are at this, the way that Sean went out of his way to take care of me both financially and sending me these flowers. So thank you, Sean. And the way everybody at Fightful, both community and staff, just checked in on me and days and days in a row. Like I can't say enough about what that meant because this sucked. This was very unexpected. Worse than my internet even. And it's very weird to be doing this podcast without that little dude in the back for sure. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys and especially to Alex because he fucking killed. Ooh, I cursed. Sorry. We're past the 5-minute mark. We won't get demonetized. But you absolutely crushed it this week without me. And it was really fun it was funny. I watched with my parents on Tuesday and I was like, Alex is really good at this. It's fun to be on this side of the screen. I was like, this is fun. This is fun hanging out in the chat. I haven't done this since before I worked at Fightful. So it was a pleasure to be a viewer for the week as well. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone and especially to you, Alex, because you absolutely rule.
Well, I will accept your thanks and your compliments, even though it is difficult for me to do so because that's my own thing. But
yeah, you're not great at that. But watching you have to do that in a rainbow-colored wig is just like the most us thing.
It is so weird. Like it's my own psychosis, but like somebody like live in front of hundreds of people being like, you're really great, makes my skin crawl. Why is that? What is wrong with me? What is broken inside of me? Somebody that I genuinely like and care about telling me I am good at things makes me go, ooh, why is that? What's wrong with me?
It's become the Judas in your mind.
Yeah, it is true. This is true. Ricardo the Dream says Queen Kate is the best Kate. And this is true because as much as you say I did a great job last Tuesday, it totally didn't work for me because I was like, I need a sanding board. I need somebody who can bump these things off of. This is the other deal is that all of my crap that I do feels so weird when I'm saying it to literally nobody. It's just like I have an imaginary friend I'm talking to. So I'm very happy that that was
I love that you say I have an imaginary friend I'm talking to. When you do, you have Linda, you have Sheila.
I know. This is again
Nathan Fraser.
Again, I've genuine problems. JW Pringle says, we got your back, Kate. SGS for life means for life. And Shocky29 says, so happy to see you back, Kate, and hope you're doing okay. The SGS stands proudly behind its leggy blonde onion queen.
Well,
So we got Jake Salazar saying that Kate, Alex scared us all last week yelling. Yes, it was a moment of weakness behind the paywall. Very, very upset at Darby Allin getting the pin on Malachi instead of Miro. I very, very upset about it. I got a little out of control.
I did see a tweet that said, "What is Tony's obsession with this goth dweeb or something?"
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Here we go. Battered to one. Jam Beard says, I liked it better when Maddie Minus wasn't here. True. And Ryan Sullivan says, Kate, cover up. I don't know why he says that.
I want because my clavicle is out, baby.
I said
my shoulders are covered, but my clavicle is exposed.
Jake Salazar said it was all Darby and Tony's fault. It's true. It's all their fault for making me so angry. Listen, it's all your. This sounds very abusive. It's your fault for making me so angry. But yeah, I know what I don't like. Sometimes I don't like to do that. Taylor Cannon says, so glad to have you back, Kate. Sending you so much love and positivity. Thank you, Taylor. And CO says, Alex in a wig still has better hair than Dom Mysterio, which is very true. So I guess we should probably start whatever the hell this is. God. If you like the jukebox, get ready for an hour of it because we have a lot of
you guys are amazing
in here, so that's good.
I love that there's dorks in the chat with their like tribalism, and we're just here to sing songs and impressions of wrestlers and original characters. Like, have fun trying to blow up our chat with your weird comments.
I don't know.
We're gonna sing songs as Nathan Fraser.
Money for Gareth. Keep fighting the good fight, bud. There you go. See, Matthew Plus is there.
I'm not convinced they're not the same.
Yeah. We got a cage match. I missed what the other stipulations were that were possible for this match, but cage match always seemed like what it was going to be. Like,
but Alex, why does one have a cave match?
Just to keep people out and not.
To keep people out.
Yeah, it would be weird if you booked a cage match and just decided to not have it keep the person who you're trying to keep out. Like if that person that you're trying to keep out actively interferes in the match to cost the people the match, then shouldn't security come out and remove them so they're not like watching the whole thing smirking at it for the rest of the match? Like, is there not any kind of like consequence for your actions when you do something you're not supposed to? I don't know.
I think what you're missing is that person also went incredibly slowly up the cage. So it's not like security had a chance to catch it. Oh, wait, they had forever.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
I don't know why I didn't see it as quickly as you.
Yeah.
Julius Creed is what?
He's it, man.
What? Like I was always impressed by him, but I feel like the Creed's title run opened my eyes a little bit more to how special that guy individually is.
Yeah.
And that's not to take anything away from Brutus. I think Brutus is great. I think as far as the pairing goes, they're stronger than like a Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins situation. Mm-hmm. Like I think they complement each other a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like they do different. They have such different strengths. The spot at the top of the cage where he was just holding on to Blonde Yes Boy, just with one arm, was holding him with all his strength over the side of the cage.
Yeah.
Like Mufasa being pushed off the cliff by Scar. Like, he's just holding him with one arm. Like, the freakish strength that takes, and also ow, because it's on top of the cage. Yeah. So I know this is going to shock you because we don't say this about NXT a lot, but a lot of really great in-ring action that was marred by bad booking.
Yeah, it's weird. We never say that. Like over the past year, that in no way has been the theme of our criticism of this show.
No,
it's weird how this is the first time we've ever said that.
You know what? It's the year anniversary. We're turning like a new chapter, I think. Yeah. We're turning over a new leaf. So just a different thing. But sincerely, what happened in the cage, I thought was great. I thought Pretty Deadly was also fantastic in this. They bumped their asses off for Brutus. They really bumped for him. Good use of the cage too. Yeah. Sometimes in WWE, my complaint with cage matches is that it's like you're watching a regular match through lattice work. They've gotten away from that a little bit, which is good. This was a fantastic opener outside of the incredibly stupid ending that was an incredibly stupid ending for so many reasons.
Reasons, yeah.
Also one that I knew was going to happen. So
here's the deal with all of this. Obviously Brutus is the bigger of the two brothers, but doesn't it feel weird that they're like not fat shaming, but just like, look at that little tub of lard go. Isn't he cute? Like, why is his cannonball called a butterball? Like, he's not, I mean, yes, he's thick, but I wouldn't call him fat compared to some of the other people that we have wrestling in this world. It's so odd. Like, they're like, oh, look at that butterball fly. What the hell are we even doing?
So weird.
It's so odd. It is true. Someone has said in the chat, and I said this at the beginning when they decided to call them Brutus and Julius. Well, we know which one is turning on the other eventually. That's kind of obvious.
Who was the third brother I invented that was just named like Ted or something?
I think it was like Fred. It was Fred.
It was Fred. I was like, think of third brother.
Yeah. Julius is amazing. And Julius got to do a bunch of stuff, which is great. And when Damon Kemp comes in and we all knew that he was going to try and get involved, right? And likely to cost them the match. Regardless of what the stipulation was, he was going to cost them the match because that's what you're doing. You are deciding that the creeds, as a unit, are best. The best way to serve the audience is not to have them win matches and be a strong tag team champions, but the best way to serve the audience, because that's what you're supposed to do. In professional wrestling, you're supposed to serve the audience in a certain way that even if they don't like what they're doing at the time, it's all in service of giving them something they love later. Okay, I don't know what this is except for let's make Damon Kemp into a top heel on a show where he doesn't belong in that particular level. Why you have to really hate Damon Kemp and know enough about him to hate him for any of this to make sense, for he's the one to like keep the creeds away from gold. So he climbs up, he handcuffs Julius, crucially it's Julius, to the top of the cage, and Julius cannot break the cuffs. I thought, well, obviously Julius is going to break the cuffs because Damon gets involved. He handcuffs Julius to the top, but he's not at the point now where he gets to win yet. He tries really hard, but he still loses in this fight. So Julius, in an amazing feat of strength, on top of all the athleticism and all the other strength he's shown, rips the cuffs and he's able to win along the side, or at least gets involved, because the most spectacular guy you have in this match, standing on the top turnbuckle, handcuffed to the cage, watching everything happen, and what is happening is two guys beating up one guy who gets in no offense, is not fun to watch. It's boring and bad and makes the crowd actively go boo to your decisions. Not, oh, we hate Damon Kemp, but boo, I didn't like watching this. And that's not the right kind of heat to me.
Agreed. And I think this was rampant all over in the Vince era. This is why we got so sick of watching it, was rematches. We've seen the Creeds in Pretty Deadly many a time. And on top of that, like, there's booking heat on the performer, and then there's booking heat on the company. This is, I'm not like the biggest Austin Theory gal in the world anyway, but it is a huge issue of why I didn't like Austin Theory was,
right.
Hey, we had all these qualifying matches for Money in the Bank, and then we just threw this guy in and he won. Like, there's no way that makes any sense. So, but and AEW does it too. I think that's been a huge part of what has thrown Sammy Guevara off course, was they were like booking heat on the company instead of their performer. So it happens a lot. It happens a lot in the past 3 years of WWE, especially. So I don't appreciate that. And the other thing is, this didn't really do anything for your champions either. Like, it made them look kind of weak in the victory here. And that means they won via somebody else's interference twice. So I thought, if this was just a clean match, like, I don't need the Damon Kemp stuff after. Have him come beat him down after. Whatever. But, like, I thought it would have been cool, like, okay, we had one interference that gave them the victory, and then a clean retain just looks like, you know what? Sometimes the champions win and the other guys lose. Doesn't have to be the most protected thing in the world, but then at least your champions look like they've earned their titles that they're holding. So didn't love the booking, but I really thought this match was great, and I thought Pretty Deadly deserves a lot of credit for this too. I think they did a fantastic job in this match.
Sure. Yeah. And I this is the other thing about it. We here's the thing that's absolutely wrong with this match and what we should have known from the beginning. Battered to one, Jambeer says all cage matches now need a Loomis under the ring. The CEO says any cage match without Dexter Loomis is crap. And I think we all can agree on that. But Orion Ben says the handcuffing of Julius should have warned us. Yeah, that was not a good. That's where the whole thing kind of fell apart. Orion Ben says, now here's the other deal. In a tag team cage match, unless I am wrong, both guys have to get out of the cage to win via escape.
Right.
So there was a time where the way that the camera was focused, it showed every part of the ring except for one corner, which is where Brutus was hiding. But I was like, oh, did Pretty Deadly like send Brutus over the top? And now they're going to try and beat Julius one-on-one, and Julius wins anyway by pinfall? That would be an amazing thing to do for Julius. But turns out, no, Brutus was just huddled in the corner to fetal position. So I thought to myself, maybe that would be a thing to do. Because he says, Orion Ben says, I go to the Hardys versus Dudley Boys logic for this. Let one get out. Then my team will have a double team for the rest of the match. That's actually a smart thing to do for the heels. And he says, yeah, handcuffs. Damn, that's true. That's bad. Here's also a thing that we will talk about for the rest of the night because it runs through the whole thing. They did a fan vote on who was the person who's going to face Carmelo Hayes for the North American title in the main event tonight's show. There were 3 options, and they rigged their own vote because the 3 options they gave us were Von Wagner, whatever, Joe Gacy,
whatever.
Joe Gacy, and Wes Lee. There's only one option. And as last I checked, he was winning with like 72% of the vote in a 3-way vote. So like he was running away with it.
Slide since only 3% of people wanted Tyrus in my poll, and people voted for a shoe and Bob O'Neill handily. But I think 2 things happen in wrestling polls, in my knowledge. You fake it. You fake the whole vote because you don't let people see it in real time. Or you make it so unbelievably obvious that it's going to go to this guy. And they went with that. And I commend them because it was probably at least a real vote if they didn't send their own bots after it. They're prone
that was a real... They deliberately set this whole thing up. This was the plan from the beginning. And I got to respect them for that. But like those are your 3 options. Those are your 3 options. Like I was saying, like last week, I said, I don't know who's got the who's on this poll, because I said this at the time it was so last night. But if Tyler Bate is on it, he's got all of my votes. I will go to jail voting 100 times for Tyler Bate to face Carmelo Hayes because it's voter fraud. It's voter fraud. They'd find me, I'm sure. I wouldn't do all the legwork to like create the fake emails. I just do it. I would do it very late. I'd literally find a ballot box and I'd stuff it full of ballots for Tyler Bate, but he wasn't on the poll. So,
of all the wrestling things I thought would put you in jail, that was not what I thought it would be. Yeah. I thought,
yes, true.
Elder abuse to Vince McMahon probably would have been at the top of that
list. Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos, says Orion Ben. That is a Simpsons gag, so you don't get it.
I don't.
So
Orion Ben also updated me on the Yankees score because he knows what we're doing here. Yeah. I appreciate you.
So we got so they say, okay, here's the winners. They have the three of them there with Mackenzie Mitchell, and so it was here's your winner, Wesley. And one winner goes, meh, and he walks off. He was so angry. It was like, okay, all right. So
you have a daughter. You've seen that reaction when you take her toy away.
This is a kindergartner who's been told, I'm sorry, you don't get to go. Only 5 kids can go to this thing. And so we picked names out of a hat, and you were the one who didn't get to go. And that's honestly what it was the whole time. And then Joe Gacy just stands there like, I would like to congratulate you, Wesley, on your thing, blah, 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 cult leader stuff, blah, 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 blah. And like, okay, fine. I like that they at least had 2 different reactions, but it is kind of funny that Von Wagner was
Joe Gacy was like, there's still work to do tonight, or whatever.
Yeah. So Von Wagner, lest we ever forget, was somehow put in the title match on the first episode of NXT 2.0. And he is now a year later put in a poll that the top brass know he's not going to get voted any votes for. That's where they know who he is. So I think this is kind of awful. Yeah. There you go. 2.0. Yeah. Emily C says that Alex's dream match is Von Wagner versus Killer Cross. It would just be boring. Like, I feel bad for Von Wagner having to carry Killer Cross.
If you needed Wendy Chu's gimmick, you could watch that match. If you were like,
Yeah. Ryan Sullivan says Alex saying when it's the Simpsons to Kate is the best. You don't know. So that's fine, whatever. So Lee wins and he's excited about it. He gets to face Carmelo Hayes, which is a match I thought we were going to get to eventually anyway, because silly me, I thought they were going to build Wes Lee as a singles guy, as a super athletic underdog babyface, and they wouldn't have him lose twice to Trick Williams, who's a glorified valet. I thought personally that was the plan they were going to do, but that's not what they did. And so now there's no reason to be excited for a Wes Lee match versus Carmelo Hayes, although the match will be exciting. Like, in no way have they done anything to make me believe that he deserves to be in any conversation to get a title match, because they booked him so poorly. That's, yeah.
Well, I'll save that for when we get to that actual match. But
Fallon, Henley, and Lash Legend was a match. Horse Girl versus Legend, Lash Girl, Horse Girl. Horse Girl won. It was very fast. I don't think I've seen Lash Legend lose a match this short. She's won some squashes, but usually when they put her in a match, they let it go like 8.5 minutes, and they were like, but this time they were like, hey, no, you get squashed. Fallon Henley won with some kind of shining wizard type thing, or a one-footed drop kick deal. I think it would be fun. She should call that move the boot scootin' boogie. That's what I think she should call it. So yes, when they came out with a little pediatric cancer survivor, like, well, we know Fallon Henley's winning this match.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Double best of the beach there. Also, did we move? there was a. I'm going to talk about it now. I don't know if we're going to talk
about it.
Well,
you're not going to give me time to weigh in on that incredible match that we saw?
No, yeah, if you wanted to talk about that, but also I thought you wanted to weigh in on this. Backstage, we see Fallon Henley after winning this. She's there with her men, with Double Vest and the Beach, and in walk Toxic Attraction, and the Beach literally creams his jorts. Like he's just like, oh my, I saw your Instagram photo and your titles. Your titles were just spectacular. I love what did she call him? Kid. I love she called him Kid. He is like 20 something, like early 20s if he's not like 20. But it just the whole like, oh my God, ladies, what do I say to a lady? Oh, Double Vest, you're much more experienced in the way of the feminine sex. What should I say to a hot lady? Is his entire character, and it's ridiculous.
You're a grown man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You kind of sounded like who was that cartoon character? Oh my God, what's his name? I'm totally
Goofy? I have no idea who you're talking.
No. I said that guy. What's his name?
Oh, Foghorn Leghorn?
Yeah, you kind of sounded like Foghorn Leghorn.
No, Foghorn Leghorn's much more high class than Double Vest in the Beach. Foghorn
That's
Leghorn.
How low he's fallen.
Foghorn Leghorn was absolutely a Confederate general. Like that's who Foghorn Leghorn was. These guys were definitely. He was one of the.
You make Foghorn Leghorn look classy. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
Double Vest in the Beach. I don't know. You're a grown up working with adults. Some of those adults are women. This is the worst. I had moments where I didn't completely hate them because they at least had a story about like how they brawled and then through their brawling realized they were friends. And I was like, that I can kind of like dig. And there's been nothing that's happened since. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was like, if this is the 1 year anniversary, that was really 10 months ago. So like all their matches are the same. It's boring. I don't know how to interact with women thing is so weird and bizarre and uncomfortable. I'm so sick of the like everybody's got a hard on for Mandy Rose stuff. Mm-hmm. Like just I've never seen a woman before. I've never commentated for a woman before. Like enough. There's hot women all over WWE if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, it's weird, right? This is true too. Jeremy Bringle says the kid that came out with Fallon had a ring name of the Night Howler and was a werewolf. That is totally badass. More werewolves in wrestling. Yeah. I agree. Alpha Bill, I'll say you have a scrumptious drumstick. I'll say.
You know what? When you are as virginal as this gentleman seems to be.
Yes.
If you do land a lady and things do progress to home base, you might be a little bit nervous about your performance, Alex. You know,
you might
be like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to last too long. Like if it's your wedding day, and you've waited. You might be a little nervous, but fear not, Alex.
Fear not.
Or Double Vest in the Beach, or whoever's waiting until their wedding day. There is somebody and something that can tell you all about something that can help you.
Is your penis soft? Is it difficult to get hard? Do you have issues with sexual performance? Do you have issues with sexual confidence? BlueChew.com, code FIGHTFUL, gives you your first shipment of Blue Chew for free. It will help you get a harder, stronger erection. It will make you more confident in your sexual performance. You take an online questionnaire. You work with an online physician. You don't wait in line at the pharmacy. You don't wait in line at the doctor's office. It's prepared and shipped direct in a discreet package. That way, nobody knows that you are getting Blue Chew in order to make your penis erect. Blue Chew and the code Fightful gets you your first shipment free if you want an erect penis. I'm going to end the ad now.
It doesn't really get less weird. No matter how many times we play it.
I thought you meant like it's no less weird me wearing my normal cap than it is wearing the rainbow wig.
Oh,
it was
no.
itchy. I had to take it off. It was itchy on the back of my neck. Oh. Alexis Cardosa, imposter Alex, says Mandy Rose is that 35-year-old hanging out in the club with 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
Worse, she's 35 hanging out in the Toxic Lounge, which we decided was that weird club for like high schoolers, you know?
Teen Center.
We see Yulisa Leon come out of the trainer's room, and you had like the whole like Elizabeth Taylor Vaseline filter for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I went out of focus. The autofocus got weird.
So we got that. That was nice. We got anyway. We Yulisa. It's hard for me to say that.
Yulisa Leon.
I want to say Luisa because that's my favorite. That's my daughter's favorite character from Encanto. Is Luisa.
Aww.
So we always talk about Luisa. So Yulisa is really hard for me to do. Anyway, so she's got a torn ACL, and that sucks. But Sanga is there, who is I just love how wholesome he is. As like, remember he was brought in. Remember this. He was brought in as Grayson Waller's bodyguard. This is like, here we go. This is the thing to do. I think we're going to do this for the rest of the show. As it is the 1-year anniversary of NXT 2.0, and now NXT 2.0 is kind of dead. It's kind of dead now because Hunter's in charge and he doesn't like that shit. So
it's officially dead. I don't know if you
reminisce about how ridiculous some of these storylines were along the way. Sanga was brought back because he was let go or banished from television because he tweeted out the results of the Keith Lee match over or Instagrammed him to Adam Cole. And then he was brought back by Grayson Waller as Grayson Waller's bodyguard. He was not a bodyguard to a bunch of Bollywood A-listers. He himself was a Bollywood A-lister, which makes zero sense. And then they were together for a while, and then they had a falling out for no reason. And Grayson Waller and Sanga had a match, and then Sanga became a babyface because he's a very wholesome man who genuinely cares about people in the locker room. And that's what he is now. He's taken Yulisa and Valentina Feroz under his wing, and he says, we must, he has this wonderful, I'm not doing any impressions of this guy because I'm not doing those things, but he has this wonderful broken English that is just fantastic. His tenses of verbs are wrong and everything, but he's always very pleasant. So he's this is terrible what has happened, but it must be a learning experience for you. We will get through this. And then Von Wagner, Robert Stone come in. They're like, meh, Von Wagner should have won that poll. Meh. And Von Wagner says, this shit is whatever. It says, you must not speak that way in front of a lady. So I'm sure we're getting Sanga versus Von Wagner at some point. I thought we were going to get it tonight, but it is now. I think it is. It's 3.0 now because it's not black and gold. It's the gold and white. Hold on. I have. Well, I will show the new logo at the end of the show when they showed it. But it's Sanga was great.
Triple H should have come out and done the Brett WCW, but just his own letters.
There you go.
Popped myself.
Von versus Sanga has been announced for next week. There you go.
Do you think we get Sanga and Veer? Because Veer hasn't been on TV in a while, and I think they might be aware that he is also charismatic and cool and should be a face.
I love the idea of these two big bearded Indian gentlemen in fantastic suits who are just I love the idea of them as a tag team in this way. Indus Sher was like some Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom shit. Like it was some really, really throwback era racism against people from the Indian subcontinent. This could be really cool, honestly. I would not mind that at all.
Yeah, I think that could be, just because we haven't seen Veer, and I don't think Veer is going the way of, say, Omos or some other people that, like, I don't think when Rick Boogs comes back, he's going to be getting pushed in the same way. Like, I think Triple H's direction is very clear. But I think Veer can really work. I think it just became, it's probably partly Jeremy's fault because of his incredible headline writing, but it became this thing of like, when's Veer going to show up, right? So, but I think they know that like that presentation was off, and I really thought he was going to show up in Maximum Male Models, but I think like they can see Instagram Veer is a very different guy, and that's the guy they need to tap into. He's like so suave and cool. He's just cool. Like he comes across as very effortlessly cool. I think Sangha has a little bit more of a happy charm about him, but I think them as a duo could be something that's really, really fun.
Yeah, I do too. So yes, because we got Vaughn in this segment and more Vaughn. Batted to one. Jambeer says Alex's dream match is Von Wagner versus Tyrus, 60-minute Iron Man match. That's my own personal level of hell, I think.
We just got big fat juicy pay bumps, and then you can pay me to watch that match even for my new rate.
Tom LaValle says Vaughn and Cross versus Dom and Dom/Sub and Eric Watts. No, sorry.
Okay, Techno Team 2000 is my go-to.
Tom, you have to be better than this because Luis is asking me if he is allowed to block you for suggesting this. I'm going to say to Luis, no, but that is your one warning, Tom LaValle. No more of those suggestions.
Techno Team 2000 is my go-to, like, fun pull. Them and High Energy. So Eric Watts has a special place in my heart.
Yeah. The battered to one Jam Beard says that Von Wagner is Link from Encino Man if he never met Pauly Shore. Yeah, kind of like that.
I could see that.
Kind of like that. Now with Nick Komoroto doing a different gimmick over there in AEW, now it has become that Von Wagner is literally unfrozen caveman wrestler, and I think that we need to update all of his things. He needs to grow out a big old shaggy beard. I think it's possible. It's really Brian says Worlds Collide matches we didn't get. Von Wagner and Last Legend versus Tyrus and Nia Jax, so they can all injure each other. And Kate versus Maki Ito in a battle of the bangs.
Maki Ito would win everything. She's just the best.
Yeah. Johnny Pringle says, wasn't Vern Wegener like a top guy over Breaker at the start on 2.0? He was. Like, he was in that title match. Breaker wasn't. He was in that title match in the first episode, and I think they would go, oh, yeah, no. Nah. Let's figure out something else for him to do. Let's have him be Kyle O'Reilly's little buddy in the woods and figure out what we're going to do from there.
Kyle O'Reilly's little buddy in the woods.
Remember that? How fun that was? They went jogging with big tree trunks on their shoulders for a while.
Go dirt biking. Yeah, no, that was very weird.
Yeah. Bill Alpha Bill says Vaughn, Dom, and Aaliyah as the new group. It's a good name for a group.
That is.
Orion Benz, this is true. Here's hoping Yulisa heals well. Yes, I hope that she comes back.
Okay, this
honestly,
is just
she and Valentina were doing some really interesting stuff as a tag team whenever they got time.
This is reckless completely reckless speculation. She's out for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
This is very specific.
No.
9 months. You don't think so?
No. Because she wouldn't be out for just that. She'd then have to be out for several months afterwards.
If she was actually, if she was actually further along. But you're right in that they're usually like, wow, they came back after 6. If they say 9 months, she'll be back in 6 because they do love to do that shit all the time.
They do like to do that. But Ryan Bennett says no to Sanga and Vaughn. Well, as long as Sanga wins, fine. I like Sanga. Braun Wagner says, be honest, who wins in a promo battle, Rousey or Wagner? Ronda Rousey. I mean, she's not that bad. She's not good, but she's not that bad. Come Tuesday, like there's nothing that's gonna beat. Come Tuesday, there's nothing gonna beat that.
I don't know, man. We did get Natty Boombalatti coming out of her mouth, but
Natty Boombalatti beats Come Tuesday 10 times out of 10. I'm sorry.
I'll say I also think part of Rousey's issue was piped in crowd noise because that completely handcuffs you as a performer because you have to hit your marks at the right time. And the writing has just been so atrocious with her. Yeah. I think she's better when they let her off the hook.
Yeah. Luis agrees with me. Rousey would win. He actually says that mops the floor with Wagner and breaks his ass with a single promo all effing day. That's what
I think Rousey might be better than Robert Stone, which is it.
Yeah. As a manager, sure, I believe it because he's not a good manager at all. Mandy Rose cut a promo with Toxic. Toxic's like, we are the 2-time, soon to be 3-time. You've just lost 2 matches in a row. Let's hold on 1 second. You lost to Doudrop and Nikki, who never win matches, on NXT last week. And also you went to SmackDown and lost to Raquel and Aaliyah, which is, yeah. But Mandy Rose continues to be all about, I'm still hot and therefore I'm important. And I think it's a shame because I think she has improved greatly over the past year plus in the ring as a wrestler. But her character seems to be, I'm important because I am hot. And I never liked those kind of characters. I mean, even like, I know I'm not supposed to like her. She's a heel, but like, there's got to be more to you than that, right? Or is the whole point of like, you are a heel because you are shallow, but that's a person I don't give a damn about. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah, it was, so shout out to Robert O'Neill for calling her Tandy Rose because she was as monochromatic as a human being can get between her tan and her hair color and her outfit. Tandy Rose popped me tremendously. But yeah, I think it's frustrating because I say this about Carmella all the time. I say this about this is maybe unfair to say about Allie/Bunny in AEW now because I think her ring work has come a long way. But like part of Allie's value and Carmella's value is their character in the ring. And not necessarily like nobody has to be, not everyone has to be Sasha Banks or Charlotte Flair. Like you can have a lot of value outside of just your work rate, right? And I do think Mandy has come a long way. Or at least she's improved, which is what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
But as far as, to your point, as far as the character, there's such a missed opportunity with Hot Girl Champion should also be a manipulative bitch, right? Yeah. Like, she could have been full on Regina George, and we haven't seen her bully. She hasn't bullied JC and Gigi around at all. She hasn't.
Like honestly, if you're gonna make this character work and make it actually consistent and seem to be who she is, then she should be really casting some shade at Gigi and JJ, who lost last week and lost on Friday because they're making her look bad. I am pulling all of the weight here, girls. Where are your titles, girls? Like that should be the character that would make us hate her more. Because right now she just seems to like there's other things you could do. And I also love the idea of her manipulating girls in the locker room to do work for her, beat up somebody. We might let you into our little clique. Oh, like we were ever serious about that.
Oh my God. Like, how primed is Roxanne Perez for that? Like, that would have been, she's like the sweet, innocent, everybody loves her girl. There's so much you can do with Tiffany Stratton. It seems like the perfect person to either dethrone Mandy and be the new queen bee of that group, or to like cause some chaos there, right? Because she's like the daddy's girl, and her, we talk about every week how much she's improved, right? So a part of it is she's not gonna probably ever be my favorite women's wrestler in the world, but if you're into that archetype, there's so much more you can do with that as well. Like, that's not all on Mandy. Like, I was like, all right, it's going to be Mean Girls, which isn't my favorite thing. But then, like, do anything from the movie Mean Girls. Like, the plastics were always all at each other's crap. So, and they might still do that, but it's, we're a year in now.
Yeah.
They're going to go up to the main roster, I would think.
Yeah, JW Pringle helps us out, reminds us she is heel now because she has brown hair.
It is true. That's a very good point.
That
Candy
is the
Rose.
reason. Yeah. But she is interrupted by Alba Fire, who's Kaylee Ray. Listen, as you said on Twitter, here's the Doudrop and Nikki are sticking around at least for a while in NXT. The lines have entirely blurred about who can be on NXT, what, when, if are they on both shows, what's going on, as we'll talk about in a bit. But if we get Alba Fire and Nikki and Doudrop, and they're not Nikki ASH, but Nikki Cross and Piper Niven, and we get a faction of those three going up against Toxic Attraction, then that is proof beyond all reasonable doubt. Triple H watches this show and should probably hire me as head booker. I'm just saying.
You would want to do that? I'd like to just criticize.
Yeah.
I mean, offering solutions is great, and I guess like fixing things, but I'll just sit here and whine.
I'm
No, it's nuts. So you called that before he even took over. I think of like you should do this stable.
It's been a while. There's a way to do the three of them, and I would also fold in Becky Lynch. Back when Becky Lynch was heel, I was like, if they're going to take the title off of her and put it back on Bianca, as they should, then Becky could still remain heel, doing other things elsewhere, and have a faction of people who just like she just wants to watch the world burn. I think there could be a lot of fun with that. But they turned her babyface now, and that's a different thing. But I still think these three could be an amazing, awesome tweener team who does not give a shit if you're face or heel. They don't like anybody. They're just out for themselves. I think there's a really cool thing for that.
And to your point, informing this stable. It's also nice because it's not just the typical heritage angle that they run. Like, they are three such different wrestlers with this one thing in common. Like, it's not like they're Scottish and UK, so put them all together. It like Alba Fire is so different from Doudrop, is so different from Nikki, that's a really nice balanced stable regardless. So I would love for them to go in that direction, and them versus Toxic Attraction is actually something I think I really enjoy seeing. So that would be cool.
So she's able to Alba Fire attacks and hits her KLR bomb or whatever they're calling that now, and then was gonna do the Swanton, but they pulled Mandy to safety, so we're getting more of that. There was a full walk down memory lane / Cora Jade buries the entire female locker room promo video. And honestly, Cora is a lot better when they can do 17 takes if they need to and find the best one. Live, I think she hasn't figured out her heel character yet, but having her do more of these, even ones you never show to the public, are really great for her to practice. There's such a thing as rehearsals. Like, if you cast somebody in a role, you're like, I think there's something there, but not yet. But I think they can get there. then you work with them and you're like, okay, that was better. Let's get you to a better place. And maybe you do a lot of rehearsals with her to get this character down. You help her find her voice. You help her write these promos to be a little less stiff, a little more of herself, because I thought that this was the best version of heel Cora Jade we got. I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying it's better than what we've seen her come out and cut very obvious, bland promos before. And maybe ease up a little bit on the whole, I'm a heel because I dress all in black. Also, look, I got spikes on my backwards hat. Like it became a little bit much for me. But she did name all the women in the locker room and why she thinks they suck.
Yeah, Indies was my favorite. She was just like, Indies lost. That was funny. This was the best of it, and it's still not there for me. She's just not a viable heel, and that's not even necessarily a reflection on her. I really didn't think Becky Lynch should be heel, and I took it when she found her groove. I think she found it, but didn't love it for the first few months, and she's one of my favorite performers, man or woman. So, doesn't work for me. She also hasn't figured out in ring-wise how to tell the story of her being a heel. Like when you are smaller, there's things you have to do. Now, also in her defense, this was a terrible heel turn. Like it was so stupid. It made no sense whatsoever. So, she A, isn't developmental, and B, this came seemingly out of nowhere. So definitely have time and patience around her finding it. Also, I was like, please don't show us what you've done for the past year. And here was the litmus test for me. Joel Pearl, who we always dunk on Fightful because he's fun to dunk on, but is actually great. He's incredibly rational and positive about wrestling. He doesn't take it seriously at all. And he was like, this is just a reminder of how bad the stories have been for the past year. And I was like, okay, if that guy is saying it, then think about what this is doing to the two of us. I was like, I will pay you to not recap the past year of this show for me. Please don't.
Yeah, don't do that. Another reference you won't get. JD Pringle says spikes on backwards hat made her look like Lisa Simpson.
I actually do know that one.
Oh.
I only via picture, but like someone I think had made that comparison with somebody else.
She tries to be one of the cool kids when she's on vacation and she just practices in the mirror. Like, whatever. Like, whatever. And then, she figures it out. We got to rehearse. You got to rehearse these things.
It's true, just like Cora did.
AO1012 says she didn't mention Tiffany, oddly. I don't know what's up with Tiffany. If she's hurt and they don't want to bring her into it, I'm not really sure what it is. But she says that her shoe has more personality than Zoey Stark. Nikkita is too cocky. You're not as good as you think you are, she says. Wendy Chu belongs in the corner of a baby's room, not in the wrestling ring, because she's a stuffed animal. She wouldn't talk about Roxanne Perez. It's interesting. It's fine, whatever. She says you're gonna come back and do this interview with me at the 2-year anniversary of 2.0, which is the 1-year anniversary of NXT 3.0, but we'll talk about that later. Because then the generation of Jade will have taken over, blah, blah, blah.
That needs to go immediately. That was the one thing I was like, please, God, don't give us that cheesy catchphrase, generation of Jade.
Then they interview Wendy Chu, and it's like, what are your thoughts about how much Cora Jade thinks that you suck? It's just the way he's like, your thoughts is blah, blah, blah. Then Lash Legend comes in and she's like, oh, no, we're not going to talk about this. We should be talking about me. You just lost. And I love how Wendy's just like, you lost and it's my time. So, but yeah, we're going to get Dragon Chew next week. I think we're going to get Dragon Chew. Hashtag Dragon Chew is back. And we're going to get Dragon Chew versus Cora Jade next week because it's the only way.
That's a handicap match.
Wendy Chu can transform into Dragon Chew because then she can prove to Cora Jade that she doesn't belong in the corner of a baby's room. There you go.
If they were going to do Dragon Chew, they should have done it at the Lights Out match. But you can't just be summoning magic. It's too unrealistic. It's as unrealistic as, say, a delicious protein-packed cereal, Alex, with that kind of magic. That couldn't be. That would just be an impossible.
Wouldn't possible.
What? What is this video that Sean Ross Sapp has sent our way?
The nostalgia of cereal. Before you grew up and you realize it's probably not the healthiest thing to be eating unless you're eating magicspoon.com/Fightful. How about this? 13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving, low-carb, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and only 140 calories per serving. It's truly innovated and changed the game with sugary cereals. They've spent time to perfect the crunchy texture and develop an astounding variety of flavors, so you always get something that hits the spot, but without any of the things that are bad for you. There's a flavor for everyone. They've got the classics, just like you remember: cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter. I mix cocoa and peanut butter for that peanut butter cup flavor. They also have the cult favorites: blueberry muffin, maple waffle, honey nut. You also have the indulgent ones like cookies and cream and cinnamon roll. And if you go to magicspoon.com/Fightful, get a custom bundle. Use that code Fightful at checkout. Get $5 off your order. And they're so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. You can return it, no questions asked. magicspoon.com/Fightful. Use that code Fightful.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
It seems that there is some magic in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And that it is, in fact, in the form of a protein-packed cereal. But you know what else, Alex? You know what else is magic?
What?
Fightful Select, darn it.
It is.
Don't you want to be with not over 10,000, over 11,000 subscribers to Fightful Select? What? That's an insane number. Don't you want to be cool like 11,000 other people? Fightful Select has the most breaking news out there. We always have like the Raw and SmackDown plans for people that do watch the main roster programming. So much happening on the AEW drama front. Sean did a really great show about the breaking news tonight. And heck, if you like the two of us, you probably wouldn't hate seeing more of the two of us, right, Alex? Huh? Or at least Alex every Monday and Friday doing Raw and SmackDown post shows on Fightful Select. And additionally, anytime there's a wrestling pay-per-view for ROH, AEW, WWE, or NXT, we have the post show for you. NXT is always on the main, but on Fightful Select, you also get us doing 97 hours of AEW pay-per-views and your monthly premium live events. So come for the scoops. Stay for Team K. Like, Sean is breaking so much news over there. I'm such a proud just friend of his for everything that's been built. When I think about the fact that I came in, just over a year ago, and there was like 4,000 subscribers, and now we're at over 11,000. It's just absolutely cuckoo bananas, Alex.
Yes, it is true. People are like, hey, you should make Alex sing Judas for 12,000. I'm like, already did it. Sang Judas for 800. That's how long ago that was. It was 800. We sang Judas for 800. It was the big thing. We got to 800. We got to do a big thing. Alex, you have to sing Judas. And that's so we it's been crazy. So
I don't think I knew that. That's wild.
It's somewhere on the channel. I don't know where, but somewhere on Fightful Select you can find me and Jeremy Lambert doing a duet of Judas.
I will be looking that up on Fightful Select myself. Additionally, I am looking at our Super Chats document, and you guys are amazing. So if you do have those wild, zany jukebox requests, which we get to at the end, it's literally after the review is over. If you're new here, it's just pure silliness. Please try and get those in now because we have a lot of them coming up. And please leave a thumbs up on this video as well. It helps people find us in the algorithms. And yes. Alex, do you want to plug your own YouTube channel? Because I feel like you should.
Sure, I'll do it now. At YouTube, Alex Sour Graps, all one word, capital, all those words. You can find my channel over there. I do live reactions to the final hour of Raw, the main event of AEW Dynamite. and every episode of AEW Rampage. If you want to watch me, when Punk got squashed by Moxley, my reaction went mini viral. So you never know what I might react to in what way. So that might be fun. But also, if you're into gaming, I'm doing live streams over there. Right now, I'm in the midst of a Last of Us series playthrough. I've just finished Last of Us Part 1, the new one on PS5, the new remake, and then I'm going to do the prequel to that, the Left Behind, and then I'm going to jump right into Last of Us Part 2, and then down the line, who knows what we're going to get into. But it's been about a lot of fun. So if you want to do that, if you would like to dip your toes in both sports entertainment and video gaming entertainment, that's the place to be.
And if you want to apparently get big sad, because I don't know what The Last of Us is, but it sounds really sad.
It is very sad. It's very sad. Eric Freed says, hi, Kate and Alex. Alex, you have my vote for head booker of NXT. Kate, I'm hoping your Yankees and my Jays meet in the AL final. Wendy Chu for NXT champ.
Oh, there you go. She's the best. Her timing is just, I just adore her.
Yes. She's great. So here's another thing. Here's what we got. Kate. Quincy Elliott made his debut tonight. And it was 6 years ago that Stephanie McMahon said we're going to do more gay and lesbian LGBT stories in WWE 6 years ago. I don't remember a lot of those in the past 6 years. And now they are doing, and listen, I think it's awesome that this guy is getting his shot. I think it's great. They're doing a version of their old Goldust character to me, and I think that's detrimental. And I feel like there's a way of doing this where it's fine, but the way you do it where it's fine and there's no problems at all is if you have gay and lesbian, trans, whatever characters on your show that isn't the entire character. So like there's a way of doing it where now, listen, obviously there's a lot of stuff that's come out about him since then, but at the time, Jake Atlas wasn't hiding anything, but it wasn't all about that part of who he was. It wasn't everywhere out there. Now this is another Simpsons reference that Homer Simpson a long time ago, in the early 90s, there was an episode where a new neighbor was a gay man, but Homer couldn't tell, and he felt like he was being tricked when he found out that he was gay. It's like, so no, I like my beer cold, my TV loud, and my homosexuals flaming. And that, I feel, is what WWE wants. If you're going to have a gay character, they have to be outlandish. And I think this is cool. This is fine. As long as you don't tip when he's rubbing up on stuff, it's supposed to be titillating. And I don't know if it's going to be titillating in the wrong way. When he grabs the referee and dips him, and the referee is weirded out by that and doesn't like it, that's triggering the wrong emotions in the wrong people. And that's where I have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with Quincy Elliott at all. I think I'm happy he's getting his shot. I just worry this is going to elicit the wrong response in the worst possible people that watch your show. And that's all it is. I'd love to see a character or characters, for God's sake, who have a homosexual relationship, because we know there are people who are in wrestling who are gay, lesbian, trans, and just are that and don't have, and it's not about it because it's just who they are. It's totally natural and there's nothing wrong with it, as opposed to let's make it the most big and maybe uncomfortable to a section of our audience. That's all I worry about. And that's all I've ever worried about, because I remember this company made Goldust into a gay panic character. And that was really detrimental in the mid-90s. And I just hope that we've gotten as far away from that as possible. And then I'll end it, because I don't think it should be lost on. Quincy Elliott looked great. He's having a blast. It's really cool.
Super over with the crowd.
Who's very supportive, and that's awesome. And I worry about WWE handling this the right way. That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is, because I never have faith in them to do the right thing about anything. So that's my only qualm. That's it.
Yes, I don't think that Wade Barrett helped at all. That was
really bad.
That was really, really bad commentary from Wade Barrett, and I'm sure it was what he was given. So that's not me burying him because he blocked me on Twitter for no reason. That's just me drawing a criticism that the way he set him up is exactly the way he set Wade Barrett up on commentary is exactly what you said about Goldust. That it was like the fact that they are like using their sexuality in this way should be alarming and uncomfortable is what we were given here. I always feel like, well, the fact that they didn't let Sonya Deville just do what she wanted to do, I think is the perfect swing and a miss from this company, because what they did was roll out something that was essentially her idea, but was inauthentic because it wasn't handled by her. It was handled by, I'm pretty sure Liv Morgan is straight. So instead of letting a gay character do a romance angle that would have just been a romance angle, they instead gave it to someone else for whatever reason who is straight. There's a really important thing here, and I saw some people talking about it in the chat, that I'm straight, so I really don't have any place to weigh in on this. But like with anything, as far as on-character screen and representation, it needs to be in control of the artist, and WWE's strength is not letting things be in control of the artist. If you look at what Effie's doing on the indies, that dude is so in control of how he wants to use his sexuality as a device in matches. And then you look at someone, I saw people mentioning Bowens, who it doesn't really come up. And it comes up in his personal life. He's very open about his relationship with his upsettingly attractive boyfriend on social media and as an advocate, but it's just not a part of who he is on screen.
Right.
So I think I've heard Pero talk about this a lot too. It's really important to leave that up to the wrestler, I think. And if this is eventually going to be in Quincy's control, good for them. Like, that's awesome for them. If this is something that WWE is going to take the ball and run with, I think that could be really detrimental to them, because Quincy is very authentically over and connected with the crowd, and you don't have to do much more than that. I think they are someone that is fully in control of who they are, which is awesome. And I really think it should be up to them to make that decision, because it's nobody else's fucking business but theirs. Right. So if they want to put it out there, that's awesome. So yeah, I think just leave that in the hands of the artists. And I feel like when I heard Sonya Deville talk about what she wanted to do with Mandy Rose, and like how easily that angle could have been done, because it was sitting right there.
Yeah.
It was sitting right there. And then they just didn't let her do it. And then 18 months later or whatever, they handed that exact angle to Liv Morgan, who also just didn't need something like that.
Right.
It is such a bummer. So when it comes to how much someone wants to bring their own sexuality on screen, I just hope it's in control of the performer. That's all. And good for Quincy. They are so over. I love seeing it. And if they're over with a Florida crowd, I think that tells you something, because if there's a crowd that's going to be resistant to something like that, it's probably it's very possible that a Florida crowd would be resistant to that sort of representation. So I just hope they go in the right direction instead of the wrong direction with it, and that it's in Quincy Elliott's control.
Right. And it's true. Quincy's pronouns are they, them. I've been informed of this, and that's what we will be using from now on. That's awesome. I wasn't aware of that. This is something Emily puts in the chat that this is what it was. I don't like how the ref seems disgusted. I don't want the predatory stereotype to be perpetuated. That's the thing that was me, was like, the ref was like, ew, don't touch me. And it's like, no, let's not do any of that. And Evelana says, I wish them the best because I want to see more queer people in wrestling, but I'm in the camp of I don't trust the writers. That's my thing. I don't trust them to know what they're doing. They have to defer to Quincy at all times.
Yeah.
You are in control of this character, how they are portrayed.
And by the way, like the way that they talked about Quincy's gear as if this isn't pro wrestling.
Right, I know.
Like, what is this gear? Like, did you ever see the 80s at all?
Right.
Like, did you see Macho Man? Did you see Warrior? Did you see, like, like, have you watched wrestling before?
Right.
Like, especially in the 80s. Like, what is this? It's expressive gear that's like not even
right. It also like apparently you see that Quincy has said that it is a tribute to Viscera, which is the like the icon for a black person of that size. I think it was kind of really interesting in that way. And like, listen, it's you can't say that they aren't trying to make themselves provocative. Like that's what this whole act is trying to do. Just the way Quincy was dancing, gyrating in the ring, how uncomfortable it made Wade Barrett. Like Wade Barrett, like obviously the crowd isn't made uncomfortable by it, but it is interesting to see like how this whole thing, like what is the rest of the character going forward. Very awesome and happy for them to get their first win.
Yes.
And that's awesome. Yeah. So hold on, wait. Yeah, okay. Gosh, Jesus. So Cameron Grimes was supposed to find a partner to face Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. So he says, I don't need a partner. Only man I can trust is Cameron Grimes. So he's a babyface and therefore has no friends. So he's decided to go with
an idiot. Why is every babyface since the beginning of time an idiot with no friends when they're the nice people?
Yeah. So there's a point there to be made about him not trusting anybody, because honestly, this version of Cameron Grimes doesn't trust anybody. He doesn't even really trust himself. Like he's kind of lost here. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't really know what to do. And I feel like that's fine, and we'll see what comes of that going forward. But it was like, so here we go. We got Cameron Grimes versus Tony D'Angelo and Tony D'Angelo's goon in a handicap match. A perfect excuse. Well, Cameron Grimes isn't able to beat two guys 2-on-1. And that way Tony D'Angelo gets a victory on your 1-year anniversary show. He's been such a big part of the first year of NXT 2.0. He was the first real breakout meme character that we then all realized, oh, hell, this guy can actually wrestle. And my God, he's playing the part so perfectly. He's an absolute star on this show. So it'd be a really good idea that he would be able to, get a victory on this 1-year anniversary show. Instead, what they have is Joe Gacy come out to decide that he will be Cameron Grimes' partner. I will be your partner. He stands in the corner, and I don't know how that's legal. Can anybody just get in the corner and is automatically Cameron Grimes' partner? That seems like a weird thing that you can do. Is that a way wrestling works? And Cameron won't tag him in, so Gacy tags himself in, right? As far as I can remember. And then Cameron Grimes is able to hit the cave-in on D'Angelo, and Joe Gacy does his ridiculous, stupid fucking handspring into the ropes turned lariat to pin Channing Stacks Lorenzo. And this is when I tweeted out, literally, what the fuck are we even doing? You did this whole angle where Tony D'Angelo sends Legado del Fantasma, a mainstay of the NXT roster for like 3 years. He sends them packing. We haven't seen where they're going to wind up yet, but they're going to be on the main roster soon. That's a big deal for him. What should we do? How are we going to build on that big story beat in the whole character of Tony D'Angelo? How are we going to build on that? Oh, by having them lose this match where they were supposed to win in a handicap. Like, you had a perfect opportunity for Cameron Grimes to lose because he wouldn't tag in Joe Gacy, and then Joe Gacy could say, if you'd only trusted me, we would have won this match. Now, there's nothing at stake, so who the hell cares if you win this match, honestly, because they've never established a pay window system in NXT. But then you would have had Cameron Grimes refusing to tag in Joe Gacy and loses the match, and there Joe Gacy can prey on that weakness. See, if you'd only learned how to trust people, I could have helped you. And we get more of this build. Instead, you have Joe Gacy pick up the victory, and nobody fucking asked for that shit. Remember that? Nobody fucking asked for Joe Gacy getting a win on this show. So it kind of ruins any momentum that that D'Angelo had out of this Legado feud, and Cameron Grimes doesn't even get the pinfall. He doesn't even get the pinfall like Joe Gacy does. And then afterwards, Joe Gacy wants a hug, and the crowd is chanting, "Hug it out." They're rooting for Cameron Grimes to join the cult. I don't know what the fuck this crowd is doing sometimes. I honestly don't. But he won't do it. And the crowd boos. They don't like it. They don't like it when Cameron Grimes does this. So are we going to get like Cameron Grimes turning heel on the crowd because the crowd doesn't support him anymore and then joining Joe Gacy? I don't understand. Literally, what the fuck are we even doing here? Like, none of this makes any fucking sense.
You know, I think it's the movie I Love You, Man, where Paul Rudd goes, "Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages." A handspring lariat is one of the stupidest things in the world. Dumb. I hate it so much. I thought the Wednesday Night Wars were for ratings, but apparently the Wednesday Night Wars between AEW and NXT were for the most incompetent referees in the whole wide world. Mm-hmm. You just walk down in the middle of a match and declare yourself a tag team partner. That means if I was in the crowd at NXT, could just get up out of the crowd, decide I want to help Cameron Grimes. I am just as right to be in that match as anybody else. This was so stupid. And not only was that guy, who was never supposed to be in the match, not questioned by the referee, and entered the match, he got the damn pinfall. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? It makes no sense story-wise. It makes no wrestling sense. And a handspring lariat is stupid. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Yeah. So yes, the schism attacks Grimes when Grimes refuses to join. There you go.
Alex, do you know? Oh, it's the movie Role Models. My bad.
Let's read this. Read the super chats. We'll have to get back to it later. But respectfully correcting you, the movie is Role Models. That Paul Rudd says that to the Starbucks chick, and it's one of my all-time favorite movie scenes.
It's so good. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages. I use that online with some people who might have had a dance gimmick sometimes. It actually is impressive, and AEW is guilty of it. It's guilty all over the world. To have an angle where nobody is benefiting is an impressive wrestling feat. I think that happened with Sammy and Scorpio Sky a lot. And this one is just Cameron Grimes isn't benefiting. Joe Gacy isn't benefiting. GYV, who I'm still calling GYV because as much as I love Tool, they're still GYV.
Yep.
Isn't benefiting. Nobody's benefiting for this. And I feel so bad for all of them, but I feel really bad for Joe Gacy because just in his entire stint there, he's never been fully able to show what he can do. We know what Cameron Grimes can do. We know what GYV can do. There's something with Joe Gacy, I promise you guys, but he's just this whole time not been able to sell it.
Yeah. Louise says, can we get to the part where
Alpha.
can we get to the part where Gacy becomes the deathmatch machine again? Wouldn't that be nice? Joe Gacy got to be that character that he was for so long, but they won't let him do that. Orion Ben says, okay, I'm with Grimes turning heel on the NXT crowd setup. Yeah. It's I don't know what this is all supposed to do, but it doesn't really help anything.
A shout out to John Alba, who said all of his angles are set up to entirely benefit him. If you want, you can find footage of him with a scrunchie and his hair getting his butt kicked by a girl. So just letting you know that's out there.
Sean Blandford says, happy anniversary of the introduction of our Lord and Savior Tony D'Angelo. May Gabagool still be with all of you, and welcome back, Kate. It's kind of odd now that, like, I still say at the end of every episode of this, keep cool, Gabagools, when that was a thing that was only really big in, like, October and November of this year when he was still doing all those. I'm walking over here talking about down at the docks. And over here when my cousin Carmine told me to beat up a guy. Now I'm a wrestler. Who knew? Like,
I'm from Chicago and also New York. Yay!
I'm from Chicago, but I talk like I'm from New York. Yay! I still love him unabashedly, and I don't understand why he didn't get a major spot here and a victory. So, hey, Jordan Devlin getting just this part of his neck shaved because he has a beard is a weird deal. It's a weird flex. Like, I go to a barber, and I get my neck shaved with a straight razor, not my entire face because I have a beard. Just literally this 1 inch here. That's what I get shaved with a straight razor. And he gives us a little thing about, I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I was watching him I was fascinated by the idea that, like, oh, what we should have him do? Get literally 1/4 of an inch of his neck shaved by a straight razor. That's what we should have. That make him look so cool. No, he's talking about grooming. How important grooming is to a young lad, I think he said. Which I was like, no, let's not do that. Like no. If you talk about all of a sudden, I think if you say out loud the words young lad and grooming in the same sentence, Ron DeSantis sends a goon squad out to kidnap you. I think that's what happens in Florida. So this was all bad. So yeah, he wants to beat up Tyler Bate. He wants to beat up Braun Breaker. There you go.
JD, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't understand why a barber was working in, like, the dark. Like, the lighting was all dark and weird.
Yeah.
I don't need JD McDonough talking to me about choking on popcorn, and I don't need him talking to me about skincare. If you're going to lecture wrestling fans on anything, we should start with deodorant. If you've ever been to an independent show.
Yep.
I don't need to see this rematch. I don't need to see him and Tyler Bate. This is just weird. Like, Sweeney Todd Dexter guy is not working for me at all. This is so weird.
The barber cuts his neck accidentally.
And he's like,
and he says, and it's like, it's a lot of it. It's also very orangey red and very watery. And, like, if that's what's coming out of your neck, you should probably see some kind of doctor, a phlebotomist or something, because your blood isn't oxygenated enough. Also, it's very thin. I think you might have some problems with hypertension.
I thought we were getting an AEW main event just from, like, this guy just started bleeding out of nowhere.
I listen. I'm listen. I love this is there you go. There you go. So listen, this is all ridiculous, but we get an interview with Tyler Bate about Jordan Devlin, and he is my sweet man. He is so chill. He is the most chill dude ever. He's like, I got a lot of history with Tyler Bate back in the UK, and I want a rematch with that Braun Breaker. I think he's a quite an interesting, wonderful champion. I think I'd like to have another match with him. But I mean, it's over. Anyway, peace. And he just looked away. He's Ringo Starr. Like that's basically like his whole voice, like a peace and love, and then I'll see you later. Like he's just got this wonderful little low, very low effort, very just the words just tumble out of his mouth. He's just like, oh, anyway, okay, I'll have a little match over there. He comes out and gently waves to the crowd. That's what his entrance taunt is gently waving to the crowd. What a nice human being Tyler Bate is. I want the world for him.
He's like the most animated golf announcer.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, no, it's like it's Ringo or George. It's one of the two. It's like it's definitely not John, and it's not Paul, but it's George. It's like like listen, I watched like my dad was a huge Beatles fan, so I watched the Beatles movies a lot when I was a kid, and like hello, this is me, this is how I talk, and it's just so much fun to do their ridiculous voice. What a nice dude.
Voices on this show? Never.
Yeah, never. JD Pringle says, young man in grooming. Is there a Manscaped promo? And Bad One Jam Beer says, wait, someone bled on TV and it wasn't Mox or Cody? Gimmick infringement. So we get an interview with Braun Breaker where they it's just a recap of the past year.
Alex.
It's highlighting all of the things that he's done in a year. Just shows how much they failed him and how red fucking hot he was when he beat Ciampa for the title at day one after they had that War Games match where he single-handedly won it for his team. And then he beat Ciampa at day one, and then a whole bunch of crap. For literally the last 9 months, a whole bunch of crap for him to do until they finally gave him this awesome match with Tyler Bate. We're like, well, no, you could have been doing that this whole time. Like, what are we doing? Like, if we'll talk more about this later. If you're going to take the title off of Carmelo Hayes at some point, do it at a point where Carmelo Hayes can be built up to be the guy who goes up against Breaker, and maybe that's a dream match there. I feel like they're gonna both be called up and split off and never actually wrestle in NXT, which is a ridiculous thing to say.
Love the Breaker. Big fan. His interviews. He makes Derek Jeter look like Conor McGregor. And I say that as a Yankee fan, knowing that Derek Jeter gave the most. That's how you survive New York. You give the most vanilla interviews you possibly can.
Yeah.
There was no part of that red champion, this red ambassador to the company. This was the most boring crap I've ever seen in my life. Oh no. This sit down thing's not for him yet. Not good at all.
Yeah.
I think we're different on the Dolph Ziggler stuff. I kind of liked that feud. I think I'm partial because I think the in-ring was really strong at least. And I think the story was good enough, even though the booking was weird. Like, they definitely didn't need to hot potato the title back and forth like that. But I've just always connected with Ziggler. I think he's fun. And I thought the in-ring stuff at that point was probably Breaker's best since Ciampa. But I don't think there's any denying that it's just been a downhill slide for him since then. The Tyler Bate match was better than the Ziggler stuff and probably as good, if not better than the Ciampa stuff. Like, that I think was the best work we've seen from Breaker maybe his entire reign. We didn't need to recap this year.
No,
it's been a rough year.
This is not the best way to utilize your champion on your 1 year anniversary show.
No,
it just wasn't. I don't know, man. It's
no.
Hey, Denise's Braun Breaker interview coming to Select soon. She calls it her worst interview. So she's done a lot of interviews. So just nothing is said because they've told this guy, if you say anything the way your uncle did, you're gone. We're not having any of this crap. You're going to be like the nice guy. Yeah.
And it's also like, it's kind of a bummer because he has a personality in promos. He had a personality doing the Hall of Fame induction. So it's there, but they clearly were just like, don't ever say anything.
Yeah. We got Nikkita, Lyons, and Zoey Stark versus the porn accountant. A porn assistant must have had the week off.
No, I think she was covering the desk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, someone's got to be working the shift.
Yeah, and Arianna Grace is out there. Porn accountant brings her lady briefcase thing that apparently is full of, I don't know, weights. Like, I don't know what, like, he's like, I'm going to swing this bag at you that's got
paper?
My TPS reports in it. I don't know what the fuck is in the bag. Zoey Stark and Nikkita, Lyons win, and those girls have to be so proud of themselves. And I think that they have a really bright future here. So yeah, that's the thing. That's all we got there. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, we got to make sure Nikkita Lyons was voted one of the top 4 most exciting people in NXT, and I don't know when she debuted, but she only had like half a year in NXT 2.0, but she was voted because everyone's thirsty for.
It seems as though the Hunter regime has maybe slowed her push. I think what I need clarity on, the match was fine. Zoey Starks is great. She's fantastic and beats the hell out of people in the ring. I need clarity around whether they're a tag team or not. Like, there's just no. Are you a tag team, or are we just having this tag team match? Because I need some clarity around that. But match was fine. Yeah. Arianna Grace looked like Jasmine from Aladdin, so that was neat.
Yeah, it's true. I love when people find this thing and don't know what the hell we're doing. Jim Wright says, "What kind of accountant? Y'all gonna get me in trouble with my wife just paying attention to this stream? Porn assistant? Is that like a fluffer? I'm confused now. Listen,
where are my glasses?
I don't know where are your glasses. When we first met Kiana James, the character, she was like, I'm a high-powered business lady who also likes to show all of my cleavage. I'm going to take my glasses off very dramatically and make love to the camera with my eyes. She's obviously in one of those, I've heard these exist, a pornographic film set in an office. That is the character she is. Jeff Hawkins, friend of Fightful, says that Kiana James exists in a world where the non-sex parts of pornography movies are real. And that's like just I am a business lady going to my office and watch. I'll take off my glasses. Now I'm sexy. And she has a new assistant.
It also doesn't help that her desk had nothing on it. It was
also that's true.
A computer.
Yes. I have crunched the numbers and I have found out.
And her boobs were out, and she had a corporate jacket out. Like,
yes,
she was
as I said, yes, the porn assistant, her assistant, who I don't think we have a name yet, but just follows around the porn accountant. So she's the porn assistant. She's the assistant to the porn accountant. She had her spreadsheets wide open to the world. So that there you go. That's yeah. The explanation's not helping. I'll tell you. Listen, it's cost doing business. So anyway, so Nikkita and Zoey win. Are they in line to get the tag belts? There you go. Nikita's outfit can't be comfortable to wrestle in. It's honestly, it's like she forgot the shield at home, but this year she's going to as Halloween as slutty Captain America. Like there's no way that's a fun thing to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Sexy Cody.
Yeah.
Someone said in the chat. I think it was Orion Ben. It is. It's like Sexy Cody Rhodes.
Batted to one. Jambeer says porn accountant exists in a world that Denise doesn't understand right now.
Oh, sweet innocent Denise.
Yeah. So Henry T. Casey says, RIP 2.0, take your Brazzers accountant with you. There you go. Let's find out. So hey, remember Idris Enofe and Malik Blade? Remember how they were like on TV all the time? And one time they like fell over each other trying to get into the women's locker room because it's an episode of Porky's. It's like I don't understand what the hell we're doing. It's like an early '80s teen comedy. What is this? But they're in the parking lot and they're being recruited by whoever the hell that is in an orange hoodie, who is a recruit of the Schism, but that person is trying to get them to sign up or vote for Joe Gacy or something. And then GYV, the dyad, comes out and they have a brawl in the parking lot. And all of security is out there to break up this brawl in the parking lot, including security guard Hank Walker, who again is what would happen if you bombed Seth Rogen with gamma rays and he turned halfway into the Incredible Hulk. Like that's what this guy is. But it's not an episode. It's like a Porky sequel. There you go. Bottom of, I don't know. This is the show. This is the show, Jim. Welcome to the show.
I'm back.
This is the show. We go from phlebotomists to a Porky's reference. This is what we do. Here we go. You got to go, Hank. You got a match right now because you're a security guard, and we do that here. And what was the thing that your friend said, which I loved so much?
My friend Brian, and I'll pull up the text. Brian is a very close friend of mine, and he's kind of the first person I ever started watching wrestling with. And he said, let me pull it up. It's worth getting the whole thing right. I love that the security guys were like, Hank, you got to go. You got a match. And evidently Hank went, oh, shit, I better change into what I wore to my nephew's school play.
Because he just comes down the ring and whatever he's wearing.
Gear to what?
It wasn't even security gear. He was off duty. Everybody else who's security is wearing black polo and black like khakis and black boots. And he's wearing like jeans and a button down. And they were doing some fucking gymnastics on commentary, trying to justify why a security guard just gets and
he's also in developmental
NXT
apparently.
Match.
Yeah.
No, but this the whole thing is that they aren't. No. Like I know he's had matches on Level Up. He's in developmental. However, they are ignoring all of that for the sake of this story, which is Javier Bernal picked a fight with a security guard, and whoever is in charge of NXT said, let's give this untrained security guard a wrestling match with a wrestler that we employ. And I don't know who that person is, but if it's Shawn Michaels,
I think he got promoted.
I don't think we should do that.
No, didn't Wade Barrett say though, like security was the side gig? Like you're in developmental, you're not getting paid real money yet, so you have to also do security. I think that was like basically what the gymnastics he was trying to pull, which God bless him because he tried. But he basically said you also have to work part-time security because you're like a developmental talent, and that's like a part of basically paying your dues or how you make money while you're still learning.
Okay. Thanks for that, Wade. Like it just
good try. It was sweet.
If you want to do the whole thing of like you could have done a lot of that earlier in other episodes of this build-up where Javier Bernal is like, hey, like listen, back off, security guard. Listen, when you're good enough to make it to the big time, like big body Javi here, you come talk to me. Maybe we'll have a match. But for right now, keep doing your squat thrusts during the day and guarding the door by night because you're not good enough to get in the ring with Javier Bernal. Like you could have done that at any point up until now when they were like, hey, we realize this is weird that a security guard gets a match. And
or you could just make him any other character.
Later. You could have done anything with it. You really could have done anything with it. But like he white knighted a girl when Javi was angry about losing to Cameron Grimes, and then he gets a match. But he didn't dress. He knew about this match a week ago. He seemed surprised when the other security guard goes, "Your match is right now." Like, he doesn't have gear. Like, I don't understand what the hell this is. But he wins. He takes off his shirt. I would say wrestle in a shirt. This is coming from me, but I would say to this guy for a while, wrestle in a shirt. And then because his whole gimmick is I'm giant and very strong. It's not like Eddie Kingston's gimmick is, listen, I come from the neighborhood and I will fight you. I don't care what I look like. I ate a whole pizza and I'm going to
kill you.
The hell out of you. That's not his gimmick. His gimmick is I train to do this for a living. And it's not enough of a living, by the way. I don't know if you want to be canon in NXT that we pay our developmental people so little that they have to take a side gig working security.
In their defense,
it may be true.
The most accurate thing about them.
Let's not actually make that public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, sure. Come work for Walmart. We will help you get food stamps because we don't pay you enough to actually eat.
This is a good shout. True. At the rate 2.0 was going, we're about to get a Trashman 2.0 gimmick and a Plumber 2.0 gimmick. It's like they pay you so poorly. You're not the son of a plumber. You just are a plumber. You know, like it's a nice dusty nod.
So here we go. Luis helping out, saying, "Shit, you not." Michaels legit offered Hank Walker an NXT contract on a digital exclusive. So apparently he wasn't in canon. He wasn't an NXT wrestler until right now. What? Anyway, Luis says he looks like the third member of Double Vest and the Beach in that fit. No. Like he doesn't belong in those kind of bars. He looks like I don't know what he looks like. He looks like his bar is more Applebee's than anything else. I don't know what this is, man. It's weird, but he wins with like a running crossbody back elbow thing. And everyone goes crazy for him. The crowd was cheering for Hank. The crowd knows who he is. I don't know if they have this, like whenever they come in, Hank is working the door. So they got to like give their tickets to Hank. And that's how they know Hank. How many
sidekicks does poor Hank need to have? He's security. He's the ticket guy.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Somebody named Sol Ruka is coming. I guess she's got a surfer gimmick.
Flippy things on the beach.
Yeah, she says, listen, all you girls in NXT, when you wrestle me, it's not going to be a day at the beach. Get it? So, she's a surfer. Is this one of their college kids they hired? There was a professional surfer, an amateur surfer or something. I don't really know what they're doing with that.
She was Shinsuke
Nakamura's. She's on Level Up now. Apparently, she's on Level Up, and she's fun to watch. Says Luis. I guess you have to watch Level Up to know what the hell's going on in this thing.
I saw a vignette of her because it went viral online because I think she like did a cartwheel into the interview shot or something insane. I can't remember, but she actually had a cool like ease about her. I'm sure they will completely ruin it. But in my head, she's Shinsuke Nakamura's apprentice on the beach.
Alpha Bill saying, Mandy, I love the pool. Soul, hold my beer. There you go. Carmelo Hayes, earlier in the night, Trick Williams walks up on Wesley in the locker room, who's just changed into his gear and is ready for the match. And he's like talking trash, like you. It's fun. It's funny that you won this thing because basically what he said is, you can't even beat me. How are you going to beat Carmelo? And then Carmelo out of nowhere attempts murder upon Wesley. Like throws him into the wall, puts his head in the locker, and slams the locker on his skull multiple times. Like that's assault with a deadly weapon, and it's totally fine. It didn't happen in the ring, so it's a crime. I don't understand why this is a thing we're just letting people get away with. It's a weird thing to book at this particular juncture. But they beat the hell out of, like, really excessively beat the hell out of Wesley for no reason. It's not like, why would Carmelo Hayes be scared of Wes Lee? Wes Lee can't even beat Trick Williams. If you had done a thing where Trick Williams got beat by Wes Lee and then demanded a rematch and Wes Lee beat him again, and maybe he won with not a loaded boxing glove, but he's able just to knock him out one time or whatever, and he's been asking for his match with Carmelo, and Carmelo has been saying, no, you don't get a match with me. I'm not doing that. You think I give a match to anybody? No, I don't. And then when Wes Lee won the fan poll and was super excited about it because he finally gets his match with Carmelo, but Carmelo was like, you don't get a match with me. I'm taking you up before the match. Like, that would have made sense. In canon, there's no reason for Carmelo to be even the slightest bit worried about Wes Lee, because Wes Lee doesn't beat anybody because of the way you book him. None of this makes any fucking sense. And it makes even less sense in a bit.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Maybe he's just opportunistic and realized the security guard had been compromised.
Maybe.
He was like, Hank,
True.
It's no good. I will also say this. I meant to bring this up at the parking lot spot before. If you have not found an alternate entrance into the NXT building,
it's true.
It is now on you. You need to assume you are going to be assaulted between your car and the entrance if you're going to park in the parking lot. Go find another parking garage. Take an Uber. Go around the front. I'm sorry, deal with the fans that are coming in. You're going to have to. You will get your ass beat in the parking lot if you choose to. It's a guarantee at this point. I did not like the Wes Lee attack for the same reasons that you did. And I really hated what happened next.
Bad One Jam Beer says they should have beat him down in the parking lot. That way, no crimes were ever committed, because the NXT parking lot is the Bermuda Triangle for crimes. Nothing ever happened there. It's where crimes go to disappear. JD McDonough on Twitter says Carmelo Hayes claims he has the heaviest head in all of NXT, and I find that quite offensive, to be perfectly honest. So at least JD McDonough has a sense of humor about himself. That's good. And Luis says that Black and Gold is back when people start doing attempted murder on TV again. Carmelo Hayes, they show at some point Wes Lee in the back being checked out. He's got ice on his face. So he's hurt. And so Carmelo Hayes comes out to do whatever. This is a match that was a fan poll match. This is Wes Lee won the fan poll. By a considerable margin. What I don't understand is if Wes Lee is not cleared to compete, why doesn't the match go to whoever came second in the poll? Wouldn't that be just the way it would work? Wes Lee won the poll, but for whatever reason, he's no longer available to compete. So you got to have somebody else in the match. And wouldn't that be that guy? I understand why why wouldn't that be that guy? But
why are you, again, this is why are you giving something to fans to then take it away? Why are you doing a fan poll to guarantee fans want to see this match? And then you're like, we're not going to give it to you. That's
the other thing. You put 3 guys in the poll and you knew one of them was going to get an overwhelming majority of votes because it's Wes Lee. He's much more a fan favorite. Nobody likes Von Wagner, and nobody wants to see Joe Gacy versus Carmelo Hayes. So you knew the fans were going to vote for this guy, knowing that after they vote for this guy, we're going to stage this whole thing where Melo, for no reason, tries to murder Wes Lee because there's zero reason you should be afraid of him or even be angry with him. Then we can do this other thing. Why not just announce last week Carmelo Hayes is having an open challenge? And then Wes Lee announces at the beginning of the night tonight, I'm accepting that open challenge. I want that match. And then Carmelo, again, would require you to have booked Wes Lee strong up until this point, but Carmelo can beat him up. But the open challenge still exists because until nobody comes out to to accept the open challenge, then the open challenge still exists. I don't understand why this person is able to just walk in and get a title match. Before we talk about this thing, I guess we have to quickly mention Grayson Waller got interviewed and he was very, very upset because he wasn't the number one person to win most popular or something.
He's just like floating around right now. That guy, they're just He's
the only thing that can save him is getting his ass murdered by Johnny Gargano with a chair. Like Johnny Gargano just should have shown up tonight and just beat the holy hell out of Grayson Waller with a chair and then left. Like that would have been honestly a really fun way to like close that story off for good and move the hell on. And then you could like do a soft reboot of Grayson Waller and try something else with him because this ain't working. Feeling Dreepy says, need to say, Elmo has more charisma than Grayson Waller. That's true.
Well, Elmo has a lot of charisma, though.
He does. Carmelo Hayes is out there, and he's talking about how nobody can beat him or whatever. And then Solo Sikoa's music hits. Solo Sikoa, who is now on SmackDown.
In the main event picture.
On the main event. Well, he's on. Yeah, he's part of the Bloodline on SmackDown, crucially, not USA.
Right.
SmackDown, which is on a different network. He's not on Raw. He's on Fox.
Correct.
So he's here, and I'm like, well, the only reason you have him show up is if he wins the title. Like, why would you have him show back up here to have a match with Melo to lose the title? Like, I guess you could do that, but that's a dumb thing to do, isn't it? I understand why you would do that anyway. Let's just watch this match because I'm sure it'll be great. But none of this shit makes any fucking sense whatsoever. I don't understand why he's here. He did say I got next, but like, was that in a contract? Did he like put a quarter on the machine before he went to SmackDown? And he's got a next now, and he's back. I don't understand what all this is.
Ghosty Oos.
Yes. So we got like the only thing this would be fucking stupid, and it is the only explanation I will accept. Roman Reigns got Paul Heyman to pull some strings and says, "My boy gets a match for the North American title." Now, if that's the case, since he's already turned heel on the main roster, how about you find Wes Lee destroyed in the locker room and you don't know who did it? Carmelo Hayes says, why would I be afraid of Wes Lee? That guy can't beat Trick Williams. Like, no offense, Trick. I'm better than Trick Williams. Why would I be scared of Wes Lee? I didn't do anything to Wes Lee. But guess what? Wes Lee ain't here. He's not wrestling. Guess I get the night off. And Solo Sikoa shows up, and we find out later Solo Sikoa beat the hell out of Wes Lee to get his spot. That would make sense. But, oh, wait, he's a babyface here on NXT and a heel on the main roster. Like, all of this doesn't, make any sense.
The only thing I could also, like, this would have been a cool thing if they did this on SmackDown, would have also been like, you want to play up here with the big boys? You go get a title down there. Like, you're not coming up here unless you've got gold. Because that could have been really cool. And it's also, like, really good exposure for the NXT brand. Because it's like, there's a champion now. Get on the biggest audience in pro wrestling across the board is SmackDown. So that could have been such a fun segment. Or even a social media exclusive nonsense if you want to do that. Of, like, Roman being like, nah, this whole bloodline's got gold. Like, you got to go get gold if you want to hang out up here. That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
And also then if the Usos lose to Sami and Kevin, Solo suddenly has gold and Roman has gold and the Usos don't. Like, there's so much dissension you can play with there. Like,
yeah. So here's what I love. I love this because honestly, this is our brand, but I also love this. Because this is just the way that it works, and it's just who we are.
I
and
put
also
in the description now that there's usually a half hour of silliness tied down to the review, but today we did 2 hours of reviewing.
Right. And I love that Jim is here now, and he's just realizing that this is kind of what I do. I try and find things like if I say this doesn't work for me, I always try to find an alternative that I say do this instead, because otherwise I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining, and I don't like that. I want to try and fix the problem as opposed to just point it out. I try and do
I think it's adorable that you think you have a choice, because I've worked with you long enough to know that your brain has to do it.
Yeah. So we get a great match. Carmelo versus Solo Sikoa is excellent. This is a very good match. And they did it. They had the title change hands. There's a story going around that WWE doesn't know what to do. I mean, we don't want Roman to lose, but we'd like to have two champions, not just one. Gosh, I wonder if maybe we should have thought of that months ago and not done the thing that you did.
Alex, if only there was some way.
Yes.
If only there was some way. Some device in wrestling where you had, I don't know, 3 guys in one match. We'll call it a triple threat.
Yeah,
and you don't even have to get pinned to lose the titles. If only that existed.
We're not even going there. We're not even going here. Here's the deal. So what we have here is
really good match.
Solo Sikoa won. He won. He's the North American champion, and he's now bringing that to SmackDown because here's what I thought they should do. I thought they should pull the trigger on Sheamus beating Gunther because he's never been hotter ever as a babyface than he is right now. He needs that title to be a Grand Slam champion. He deserves that honor to be a Grand Slam champion. I think he should win it and be a babyface with his brawling brutes by his side. And then you get Solo and the Usos picking a fight with the brawling brutes, and you have Solo Sikoa win the title off of Sheamus like a maximum of 6 weeks after Sheamus wins it. And then Solo can be the Intercontinental type champion for a while. And Gunther can do other things. Gunther can be pissed. He can want Roman Reigns, whatever. You can do other things. But instead of doing any of that, they were like, let's bring a title from our developmental brand to SmackDown and put it on Solo Sikoa so everybody can have matches. And I think that have titles. And the other thing somebody said is that now Sami Zayn has to go to Raw and pin Dana Brooke and show up on SmackDown with a title too, because otherwise he will feel out of place. And then there we go. That's all, you know.
The only thing I could think is maybe Carmelo Hayes versus Solo Sikoa happens on the main roster to get that title back. Like, I feel like Carmelo Hayes is never going to be the champion in NXT. No. I think the North American title is his legacy at NXT, and then he moves up. But I don't know. This is weird.
Remember how I said the person who got the second most votes should get the title match if Wesley, who got the first most votes, can't. Well, Jaimoncito Gomez helps out and says, what if no one voted for Von Wagner or Gacy? And honestly, I can't imagine anybody doing that, so that makes sense.
Robert Stone definitely forgot to vote for his own client. Hands down.
Ryan Largent says, keep IC and US as top brand belts, bring back tertiary belts to fill things out, keep only one world title as a marquee attraction everyone's gunning for. Sure, that's an option too. It feels like here's the deal. There are literally dozens of options to solve the problem that you say that exists right now. Whereas you don't want Roman to lose, but you want a top champion on each brand. There are literally dozens of ways of fixing that. And there have been for months, and you haven't fixed it yet, which makes me think you don't actually have a problem with that. Not really. And so, you know what? If you want to go, keep both belts on Roman Reigns. Have him show up once every 2 months, all the way until he faces The Rock at WrestleMania. And everybody, that'll be fun.
Well, so my thinking is that report, the nonsense is, I think they don't know if they can get The Rock for WrestleMania. I know that's ridiculous. All this stuff. I think that's what we don't know what to do with the belt. I think it means we don't know if we have The Rock for Mania.
They couldn't even get him to show up for Survivor Series. Had to do the whole egg thing. That's how we got Austin Theory. Eddie McMack says, now that Solo's taken the North American title off of Mello, do we see a potential main roster call up for Hayes? Possibly.
I
I still say it would be a terrible idea to not do the program of Carmelo versus Braun Breaker. Whoever wins, I don't care, but you got to do that program. They've been sitting there in NXT for a year. To not actually do it in NXT would be a disservice to the brand. Ryan L says, "Who would have thought the last member of the Bloodline without a title would be Sami Zayn?" I mean, I think everybody at this point, right? Isn't that the whole point? But yes, I think that would be very funny if he actually wins the 24/7 title on Monday. If he sneaks in and pins Dana Brooke and gets the title and runs away, and then the next time we see him, he's on SmackDown, like, "Hey guys, we all got our titles, right? Let's go to the ring together. All of us carrying our titles."
Has to happen.
It would be so good. I want it. So here we go. After this, we got a new thing. They were like, well, NXT will always be this thing. Shawn Michaels does this voiceover thing, and at the end, they show us this. Hold on 1 second. All right, there we are. This is the new. It's new white and gold, not black and gold. It's white and gold. It's
It looks so heavenly.
It does. But that's the new thing, man. And I was like, Hunter hated that rainbow shit from the second it dropped, and he was itching for months to be able to get rid of that forever.
And he thinks wrestling's a metal show. Like, he made that very, very clear. Also, I just wanted to bring up real quick.
Yes. Also,
just because.
Sexy Minoru had to do it. Valab says 2.0 is dead. That's great. But wasn't the thing holding back the booking? Wasn't the thing holding it back the booking? So we'll see going forward. Oh my God, Alex, what's with that hair? Apparently, Santla was still doing that thing.
Oh, NX3. This is good.
Yeah. The Nerd Guru says this is an anniversary funeral of NXT 2.0. Yes. Nerd Guru says, thank you, NXT 2.0 era of NXT. Don't let the rainbow puke-colored door hit you on the way out. Black and gold is back, white and gold. And I find it totally sensible for Roman to have said, go get some gold where you got some unfinished business. Honestly, that'd be great. Give us the scene where he tells Solo Sikoa to do that. Give us the FaceTime where he says, little brother, little Oos, you know what you need to be a part of the bloodline for real. Like, I think that's great.
I put the veil back on because I'm married to the game.
Ruben Hidalgo, 82, says HBK to NXT 2.0. I'm sorry. I love you.
Super kick.
Ryan Largent says, stupid, sexy Suzuki. It's true. He is so sexy.
Sexy Minoru. He is a boy toy. Look at that guy.
The Bad and One Jam Beard says, one way they get one of the titles off of Roman while still keeping him strong, make Roman pull double duty at the EC pay-per-view. Make him be in both chambers. He wins the first one, but loses the second one. No, he's not allowed to lose. Again, there are awesome ways you could do this without having Roman take a single pinfall. One of them happened literally at the beginning of this month. All you had to do was have Austin Theory successfully cash in, not successfully cash in, but cash in, make it a triple threat, have Drew beat Austin Theory. Pin Austin Theory. Roman Reigns doesn't get pinned, but Roman Reigns leaves holding the Universal title, and Drew's holding the WWE title. What's happening, say the announcers. What's gone on? Blah, 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 blah. And then you get Paul Heyman coming out on Raw or whatever saying, well, no, the Money in the Bank contract was only ever for one title. What are you talking about? You think I would let my client, Roman Reigns, my tribal chief, in a situation where he could lose both titles if somebody cashed in on him? Oh, no. So you keep your lesser title, Drew McIntyre. We'll keep the Universal title over on SmackDown. Done. You split it up, perfect, and you get that awesome moment where Drew wins in the UK, and the crowd goes crazy. And guess what? We don't have Tyson Fury singing American Pie. That's the best part of everything.
That would be beautiful. I think Hunter now has too many chess pieces.
Yeah,
like he's like, I got crossed back. I could have him drop to Braun. I could have him dropped Solo. I could have him drop to Cody. That's safe. I could have him drop to Gargano. I think he has too many chess pieces, and it all happened really fast. So now he has to take the next 6 months and figure out. Well, he has to plan out what the next 6 months are going to look like. So I don't think that report is as big of a deal as everybody's making it out to be.
Yes. So the battered one, Jim Beard, has a question that will determine what his request is. So, Kate, welcome back, you lovely little madam. Could you do me a big favor? Pick a genre: 80s cartoon, 90s rap, or 2000s pop.
Oh God, I'm gonna say 2000s pop. Okay, which is my least favorite of the three, but I feel like makes for the best entertainment here.
Nurguru's throwing in an AEW chat. Mox should squash Sammy in under 10 seconds. I think we're all in agreement there.
No, I completely disagree. For real, I completely disagree.
You can be wrong. It's fine. Smikers says, Sheamus, banger after banger after banger. Kate, bangs after bangs after bangs.
It's true.
Yeah, Luis is especially after that promo Sammy cut on Twitter. You haven't seen his promo on? Yeah, then honestly, it's terrible. Here we go. There's so many wonderful things to read here. JB Pringle says the Graps is almost 700 strong. Like spike time. Everyone drop a like. The like spike.
Please.
Graham B says, off topic, if this world were full of Kates and Alexes, there would be no wars. Thank you guys for being genuinely pinnacles of like exemplary humans. Oh, thank you, Graham. That's the sweetest thing ever.
I don't know if we're not polarizing, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Shout out to Jeremy Lambert for turning on slow mode because we needed that earlier in the night. So thank you very much for him doing that. Sean Blandford says also cheap plug for Get the Flick Out of Here. Listen to Kate and Alex talking about goofy movies and TV shows is amazing. Yeah, we're gonna do one of those this week at some point. I'm not really sure when, but I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a terrible, terrible movie.
Not great.
Not good.
Not good.
Sean Blandford says it's easier being a massive dork. He sent that in with his 14-month member the chat. So thank you very much for being a 14-month member.
Thank you.
Alpha Bill says, have I entered the Fightful multiverse where Alex laughs at authority and plays by his own rules, and Kate is the Katherine Heigl of this universe? Dark Lavender Void says, first super chat here for any channel. The silliness and growth mindset analysis are the magic that brought me to Fightful Select. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's the sweetest. I always say come for the scoops, stay for the Linda.
Yeah, there we go. And now we have, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 pages of jukebox. We said we were going to do it. So
thank God I pull audio now. Sean would kill us.
You'd kill all of us. Cora Jade, there's a chat from Ryan L. says a storm is coming. Oops, no, the generation of Jade is coming. No.
That needs to be over right now.
It's really Brian says the other day in traffic I saw a horse in a trailer, and I wondered if he was a horse lawyer. Then I saw there was a second one and said, nay, it's a horse law firm.
With traveling offices. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's good. So we have lots of these. Lots of these. And we're just going to have to go through them. The first, we're just going to have to do it. Hold on one second.
I love this part of the show because it's like 97% you.
Yeah, it's true. So Got chats at the bottom, he says. Wonderful.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I'm just going to take a little scrolly video of this. You go right on ahead, Pumpkin Patch.
So we get here Jukebox from Ryan L. Hey, Alex, can we get Tony D in the Toxic Lounge acting like he's never seen a woman before in his entire life? Like he just landed on this planet? Or like he's the beach. Hold on 1 second. Oh, hey, what are you? Hey, you got, oh, hey. How you doing over here? I mean, like, you got whole things. You got things that I would not even know what to call them because I've never seen one of you before in my life. I'm not really sure. I believe, hold on, Channing, what are those called? Bazooms. You got some bazooms over here. I can write a home about. Hey, you got to hang a friggin' hat on them. I'm going to try. One second. I got my hat here. Wait. No. They don't stick. So anyway, how you doing? You want to get out of here? I don't know what that was. I'm sorry about that, Ryan. That was not quite up to muster because I really wasn't understanding the question. Okay. Feeling Dreepy says, could we get Nathan Frazier singing "You Can't Always Get What You Want" by the Rolling Stones? Here we go. Yes, we can do that. Hold on. I saw her today at the reception, a glass of wine in her hand. I knew she would meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. No, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you just might find you can get what you need. And Bob's your uncle. So...
Yeah, we're going to be zipping through these tonight, guys.
Scotty Bobox says the angel and the god sound with that logo. Michaels came out as an angel when facing UT the first time at WrestleMania. Undertaker. That's amazing. Yes, I hit that Kevin Nash bong again. There you go. That's true, yes. Michaels came out as an angel when facing Undertaker at Mania, so that's why he has. There you go. That's why. Feeling Dreepy says, could we also get Darby Allin reciting the Whitney Houston song "I Will Always Love You" like he's at a poetry reading and doesn't quite understand what love is? Hold on. I don't know, just really slow here. Here we go. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way, and I will always love you. Ooh, will always love you. You, my darling. Bittersweet memories, that's all I'm taking with me, so goodbye. Please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need, and I will always love you. I will always love you. I hope life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you've dreamed of, and I'm wishing you joy and happiness, but above all this, I wish you love, Malachi Black. I wish you love. And you too, Brody King. I wish you love. I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always love you. There you go. It's good?
The chat loves it. I love it. I will always love it.
Okay. Ricardo says, hey, guys, lots of love, especially for Kate. I'd like to hear It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls in the dulcet tones of Lord Regal. Okay, here we go. Humidity is rising. Rising. Barometer's getting low. How low? According to all sources, the street's the place to go. Because tonight, for the first time, just about 10:30, for the first time in history, it's going to start raining men. It's raining men. Men in the mask. Hallelujah, it's raining men in the mask. Amen. I'm going to go out to run and let myself get absolutely soaking wet. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Every specimen in the mask. Tall, blonde, dark, and lean, and masked and scrummy. Ooh, 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 rough and tough and raw, strong and mean, but not too mean. Be nice to me, Man in the Mask. War Games. Daddy Magic singing Toxic by Britney Spears from Luis Villarreal.
That's excellent.
I was going to do the pre-chorus and the chorus. Too high! Can't come down! Losing my head, spinning round and round. Do you feel me now? You want a taste? With a taste of your lips, I'm on a ride. You're toxic. I'm slipping under with a taste of a poison paradise. I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? And I love what you do. Don't you know that you're toxic?
Entertaining.
It's very it's entertainment. Lord Kev says William Regal or Linder doing Me So Horny. Well, I guess I got to do both, right?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes, you do.
It's the clean version. That's good. Oh my God. Me so horny. Me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you long time. Sitting at home watching Arsenio Hall, so I got the black booked for a freak to call. Pick up the telephone, then dialed the 7 digits. Said, yo, this is Marquis, baby. Are you down with it? I arrived at her house, knocked on the door, not having no idea of what the night had in store. I'm like a dog in heat, a freak without warning. I have an appetite for love, cause me so horny. Oh, me so horny. Oh, me so horny. Oh, me so horny. Me love you long time. Oh crap!
Alex, this is a wrestling podcast.
I don't know. This is a thing. You won't get this anywhere else. Like, you may hate this. You honestly may. And honestly,
sure.
If you do, I can't say I blame you.
Alex,
But
I don't even know if we like it.
This is the one place you can get this. Nowhere else.
This is exclusive wrestling content. For better or worse.
Nathan Frazier sings Let It Go from Frozen.
To those of you saying Sean is furious, nope. He now pays on a per show basis, so this was the right week to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. To keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. And Bob's your uncle.
When did I become a Dr. Seuss character with this top knot?
I honestly don't know. Batted to One Jam Beard says, Eddie Kingston singing Backstreet's Back, all right. Really, unless there's a lot of partners in here, I'm not going to be able to do this right. Here we go. Here we go.
Every partner.
Yeah, there we go. That's good. Here we go. We'll do that. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need, Chris? You better rock your body now. I'm going to taste your blood, Chris. Every partner. Yeah. Rock your partner. Yeah. Every partner. Yeah. Rock your partner right. Backstreet's back. All right. Yeah. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm sorry about everybody. Darby Allin sings, I'm so excited. It's funny because he's not. From CO, who sent that in. Okay, here we go. I want to love you, feel you, wrap myself around you. I want to squeeze you, please you. I just can't get enough. And if you move real slow, I'll let it go. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. And I know. I want you. Malachi Black. There's good. There's that. Matthew Plus sends Darby Allin sings "Memory" by Barbara Streisand. I honestly don't know this song. This is not from Cats, is it? That's the only memory I know. No, I don't know this one. I'm sorry. Listen.
You should know your Barbara.
I don't. I do, and I'm very disappointed with Alex. But Alex has no idea what this is. Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. As the moon lost her memory, she is smiling alone in the lamplight. The withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Malachi Black. Memory, all alone in the moonlight. I can dream of the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Malachi Black. That's my hook. That's how I know if I'm doing every time if you actually do impressions, you need to have a hook, a thing that you say in the voice that lets you know you're doing it right. And for me, that's him saying Malachi Black.
It is so close to conformist.
It is. So is. CO says Daddy Magic sings the theme to Full House. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. How did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. You want a taste?
Taste of the titles.
Entertainment. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen in a bird knows your tune. Then a little voice whispers, kid, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, there's a heart. A hand to hold on to. You want a taste? Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a face of somebody who needs you. You want a taste? Sports, entertainers. That's all. I don't know how to do that. Miro sings "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" from CO. This is so ridiculous. All right, Miro. Let's see. Okay, here we go. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind. He was looking to make a deal when he came across this young man sawing a fiddle and playing it hot. The devil jumped up like my hot wife. And like the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it. I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play a pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I'll bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, because I think I'm better than you. I haven't done a Miro in a very long time. Axiom sings "Welcome to the Jungle" from CO. Thank you.
Very good.
Hold on. Axiom versus Nathan Frazier, part 2 next week. So come back to more of this, because guaranteed there's more of this if they wrestle next week. Linda KCO says Linda raps "Back That Thang Up." Lil mama go and back that thing up later on. Let the homies beat that thing up. Little mama go and back that thing up. Later on, let the homies beat that thing up. I want to rock right now. My name's Sancha, and I came to get down. I'm not universally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone. Bet you no trick puts it down like me. An insane chica throwing up SDLPG 1, 2, 3. That's how many Chinas that I brought with me. Together we're 4. When we step out the door, everybody looking with their mouths to the floor.
We hit the dance floor, moving so exotic. You gave me your number, but I think I forgot it. I'm so wild and I'm so crazy. A sexy Ruka that can work it, baby. We could do it nasty and gangster. Put me up on loco because, I ain't a wankster. I usually get paid for my hits, but make more cash. Listen, it's very long. We can't do this all day. It's like I back that thing up. Basically, the gist is I should bank that thing up, and then later on, I should let the homies beat that thing up, which I fully intend to do.
So we got a couple here for Back in the Saddle Again by Aerosmith. One is for, hold on, Linda singing Back in the Saddle Again. And we got, that's via here where we get it. So we said Jesse Ozog wants Linda singing Back in the Saddle because you are back in the saddle tonight. But then somebody else wants you to choose somebody. So now we get to have a duet with Linda and somebody else singing Back in the Saddle Again.
Finn Balor. We haven't heard from Finn in a bit.
All right. I don't know if I can. Let's see how we transition. Here we go.
I'm back in the saddle again. I'm back in the saddle again. Riding into town alone by the light of the moon, I'm looking for old Suki Jones. She crazy horse saloon. Barkeep, give me a drink. That's when she caught my eye. She turned to give me a wink. That'd make a grown man cry.
I'm back in the saddle again. I'm back in the saddle again. I'm back. Come easy, go easy, all the right till this rising sun. I'm calling all the shots tonight. I'm like a loaded gun, peeling off my boots and chop some saddle sore because you're a bad father.
Aren't you proud I didn't pick Nathan Fraser?
I am so proud of you. CO says, Miro sings Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Seriously, we're going to be here for another hour and a half. There are so many of these. I'll try and keep them quick.
I'm cutting us off at 2 hours and 45 minutes. I have to pull audio and go to work tomorrow.
Okay, here we go.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. And let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for. I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fly me to the moon.
Regal sings This Magic Moment by Jay and the Americans from Orion Ben 666. Jesus Christ. Okay. This was Regal? Okay, here we go.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was unlike any other until I kissed you. And then it happened, man with the mask. It took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too by the look in your eyes. Your mask, your eyes, and sweeter than wine, softer than the summer night. Everything I want, I have, whenever I hold you tight. This magic moment, you scrummy, scrum-diddly-umptious, you. Ooh. War games.
We have people volunteering to put theirs on the back burner. That's how much
so
you
nice.
guys
That's
rule.
So nice. Okay.
You're so funny.
Regal raps Gangster's Paradise. This is something we've done many times in the past. I'm going to save that one for another day because we've already done it. So we'll do that one a different time. William Regal, read Goodnight Moon, but to Excalibur, says. Here we go. Yes. Hold on. Close this. All right. Okay. Oh, wow. Come on. It's just, I'm in here in Pinterest and everything's like. Hold on. Here we go.
In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting in chairs and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse, just like you, my little tiny toy mouse. I want to play with you like a kitten. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush, hush now. You're being too quiet. Listen, I'm a quiet old lady. I'm not quiet, but I am an old lady. And I say to you, good night, room, good night, moon.
Hi, Sean.
It's 1 a.m. Eastern time.
What are you doing up?
I'm just sitting here wearing my Garfield tennis shirt, minding my own business.
Sean, we had 4.5 pages of just the jukebox part of our super chats.
Super chats, man. It's a lot of super chats.
Well, I just want to say good for that. Good for that. I don't have to do the audio anymore, so that makes me just ecstatic.
Yeah.
Ecstatic. But
you're awake anyway. Ooh, cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
Moon grapes.
Of all things, I saw an Austin Aries tweet that made me go, damn it, you know what? I need some cantaloupe. And it said something like, I'm just going to sit here, not worry about getting a heart attack and eat fruit. And I was like, you know what? That's actually pretty good advice for once. So maybe Austin Aries saved my life.
Even a broken clock, my friend.
Hey, if there's one thing I won't question the man on, it's probably his eating habits. But
That's fair.
So here we are. The Cease twins are both still up.
Yep.
Of course they are.
The thing that I like most
There's still 500 people watching.
The thing that I like most about the Cease twins is that they are probably together right now, but they are on separate devices.
100%.
Yes,
100% they are. 100%. They've told me that before. They're like, we're in the same house in different rooms. Or
So,
like
like,
on different,
Do they just have... So here's the funny thing. They're probably watching it on like a TV or a computer or something, but they've got their phones logged in.
100%.
That's amazing.
This is great.
Okay.
This is great. I love it.
So it's so funny. So my wife and I call them our adult children, and she can always guess which one is sending which message because it's always something like this. Allie says, "Oh, we're sitting next to each other." And then Emily's like 2 feet
100%.
away, dumbass.
Yep. And the lowercase, uppercase, immediate tell. Immediate.
Somebody asks if I'm under the influence. No, I don't. I've never done a drug or drank alcohol in my life, actually. Marijuana doesn't count as a drug. Sorry. I'm not under the influence of that either. But this comes from, listen.
I'm so glad you're here to make the show longer.
I got this from Kroger in Lexington.
Yeah.
They're open on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I'm old, I'm hurt, I'm tired, and I work with children. So
yeah.
Yeah. Just eating.
Yep.
God.
Empty-headed, idiot, dumb boss, Sean Rossap.
Man, it says 2 ounces. There's 22 ounces. I was gonna say I'm about to put down a pound of cantaloupe. I sit here in front of
I'd
you
be
guys.
impressed.
Is dried cantaloupe a thing? Do they do that?
Is moon cantaloupe a thing?
I don't know.
Listen, Alex, have you seen moon grapes?
I have. No, I know what you're talking about.
They're
They're
garbage, man. They're
well,
garbage.
I don't know if they're garbage. I would just say that they're very long.
It
I
ain't
would say
natural.
they're
It ain't natural.
No.
I'm not.
Can we continue with the impressions now? I'm tired.
I mean, no.
Guess who's pulling audio, buddy?
See you guys later.
Bye. All right.
I love telling my boss what to do.
Michael Dammit has sent in something over here. It says Kate is truly the queen of the segue, which is true. That's from earlier, of course. Jesse Ozog says, to all the voices of Alex, if music be the food of love, play on. Thank you both, you beautiful people. Thank you, Jesse Ozog. The line drive says SRS just rolling in to talk random topics like he's part of Clerks 4.
I wanted to talk football with him, but for some reason I don't think he would be up for that.
No. Orion Ben says Nathan Frazier sings "I've Had the Time of My Life," but that's a duet. So I wonder who will sing the other part. I'm not sure. We'll find out. These are very slow. These redirects are very slow tonight. Oh, here we go. Now, I've had the time of my life. No, I've never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you, because I've had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
I've been waiting for so long. Now I finally found someone to stand by me. We saw the writing on the walls. We felt this magical fantasy.
Now, with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise it secretly, so we take each other's hand because we seem to understand the urgency.
Just remember, you're the one thing I can't get enough of, so I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I've had the time of my life. This, here, tonight, the time of my life entirely. I've never felt this way before. Except all the other times you guys make me do all these funny voices.
William Regal rapping Check Yourself by Ice Cube. Okay. Let's see here.
You'd better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because I'm bad for your health. I come real stealth, dropping bombs on your moms. Fuck call alarms, doing foul crime. I'm that man with your Alpine. Sold it for a 6-0. Always let tricks know, and friends know we got the Indo. No, I'm not a sucker sitting in a house of pain. And no, I'm not the butler. I'll cut you. Headbutt you. You say you can't touch this, I wouldn't touch you. In matter of fact, motherfucker, here to let you know, boy, oh boy, I make dough, but don't call me doughboy. This ain't no effing motion picture. A guy or a bitch, my man will get with you and hit you and talking that yak to the neck, man with the mask. You better run a check. So come on and chickadee check yourself before you'll wreck yourself. War games.
That was interesting. Braun Strowman singing Genuine's Pony from Luis Villarreal.
I'm just a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner, someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. Gotta be compatible, takes me to my limits. Girl, when I break you off, I promise that you won't want to get off. If you're horny, let's do it. Ride it, my pony. My saddle's waiting, come on, jump on it. If you're horny, let's do it. Ride it, my pony. My saddle's waiting. Come on and jump on it. I'm not finished with you.
That's my first time doing a Braun in this one, but I like doing a Braun. JEAV says, longtime lurker, first-time humper chatter, sub to Fightful Select just because of Team Kalex. Love all you do. Always keep cool, Gabagool. Jukebox. We've heard Linda do it, but disregarding the punk drama, could we please have Sheila cut the pipe bomb?
Oh my gosh. First of all,
part of it.
Of course you can. Second of all, do I even need to open this?
I don't think you do.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as comfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me, sweetheart, okay? I want you to digest this because before I leave in 3 weeks with your WWE Championship, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I don't hate you, John. I don't even dislike you. I do like you. In fact, I like you a hell of a lot more than I like most people in the back. I hate this idea that you are the best. Because you're not. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world. I'm going to leave it at that.
There you go. There's one. All hail. Thank you to Alex and Kate for reviewing Vince McMahon's lack of vision of NXT 2.0 for 1 year. In honor of the year, we just have to shake it off. So can the OG Linda sing Shake It Off by Taylor Swift? Much love and SGS for life. Yes.
I stay out too late, got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's going to be all right. Because the play is going to play. And the hate is going to hate. Baby, I'm just going to shake. I shake it off. I shake it off. And the heartbreak is going to break. Fake is going to fake. The Undertaker's going to take. But I shake it off. I shake it off. There you go.
That would be a Jeremy Lambert favorite.
True.
Big Tay. Big Swiftie, that Jeremy.
Jake Salazar says Nathan Frazier singing "Party All the Time" by Eddie Murphy. So here we go. Girl, I can't understand it. Why you want to hurt me? After all the things I've done for you, I'll buy you champagne and roses, put diamonds on your finger, still you hang out all night. What am I to do? My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time. She parties all the time. And Bob's your uncle. Okay. What the hell?
Maybe we should do 3 more and then do a special edition.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to, right?
I think so. Maybe we'll release a special episode that's just
what's a good one to end on? Okay, well, I gotta
breaker's gonna break it.
That's good. Here we go. I'm doing 2 more. Because I got a please in here, and I got to do the please. And so I'm going to do 2 more. Okay. Linda does Barbie Girl, and then Walter sings a special song. Okay. So here we go. Ricardo the Dream says, Linda does Barbie Girl, please. Please. You say please. Apparently I have to do it now. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right.
I'm a Barbie girl, this Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Oh, yeah. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Ooh, ooh. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Oh, yeah. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Basically, it's the same thing over and over again. And then finally here, the Battle of One Jam Beard says, and finally, Walter singing What a Girl Wants by Christina Aguilera.
Most underrated vocalist of our generation, by far.
That's true.
Not even close.
Here we go.
What the girl wants, what the girl needs. What the girl wants, what the girl needs. Oh, yeah, come on. Ooh, yeah. I want to thank you for giving me time to breathe like a rock. You waited so patiently while I got it together. Oh, I figured it out. Yeah. I only looked, but I never touched, because in my heart it was a picture of us holding hands, making plans. And it's lucky for me you understand what a girl wants, what a girl needs, whatever makes me happy and sets you free. And I'm thanking you for knowing exactly what a girl wants, what a girl needs, whatever keeps me in your arms. And I'm thanking you for giving it to me.
What a girl wants, what a girl needs. Yeah. Straight up middle school dance.
So we have JW Pringle says, thanks so much for all you guys do for our amusement. What a great anniversary. May the SGS outshine the sun, for life forever. Gabagool and good night. What a way to end this thing. But yeah.
And also with you.
JW Pringle will send me all of these in a document or something. And we'll do a special edition, like a little addendum somewhere.
It'll just be a bonus episode that we'll have to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's like we're down to 1 page. Honestly,
yeah, but that was with a bunch that we also deleted already. That got put somewhere else.
All right, that's good then. So thank you all for that.
For a year of support of this silly, wacky, insane vehicle, and shout out to the guy who at 1 hour and 45 minutes said this was too long.
Bless him. He wasn't wrong.
God love you, sweetheart.
But yes, thank you so much. Thank you all for all of your support for this year's. It means the world. Like this is something that even though I honestly don't like the show, that we review, I look forward to Tuesdays every week because we get to hang out and you guys make me do funny voices for 45 minutes at the end of a show, talking for about 2 hours. Thank you so much, Luis. There's no way the show works at all without Luis Polito. He's the very best at this. And thank you all for being a part of this awesome community. You people rule, and I love you so much. So follow me on the Twitter at Alex Sourgraps. Go to YouTube, Alex Sourgraps, and subscribe there if you haven't. I'm doing a watch alongs tomorrow. Will be a watch along of the Dynamite main event, which is Jericho versus Danielson. Let's hope no shenanigans. And then watch along for Rampage as well on Friday. Also, I'll be doing a Last of Us series, playing through that as well. If you like watching me get sad and scared, come do that. David Jack says, hopefully you all catch this. I just got off work. I love you both so much.
We love you.
Thank you so much, David. That means a lot that you jump on this thing right after work. And I don't know if it's a 10-hour jukebox night, but we should have like a crazy one of these things where it's just like, all right.
But that's the whole episode, yeah.
Jukebox is open. And if you want, make sure you say on there, you can go to humperchats.com and request a jukebox whenever you think of it. And it'll go in the file, and Luis will pull it up on Tuesdays, and we'll do it there. So maybe we'll do one of those as well. So thank you so much. Kate, where can they find you?
You can find me at Miss Kate Fabe on Twitter. You can find me normally Wednesdays at the Mark Order Podcast, but this week a special Thursday episode. And you can find me Fridays doing the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show. Also keep an eye out for Excite Wrestling commentary up in upstate New York. I'll be back there, I believe, on when is that? That might be the 17th. That might be 3 days from now. Keep an eye on my Twitter, and I'll be there.
All right. Again, thank you guys so much. Oh, also, Oro Mesa is coming soon. I'm interested in seeing what he does on the NXT brand stateside. Thank you very much. And now is the time where I will say, as every week, I need you to make sure you do this for me. Keep cool, Gabagools.